Connection appears stable. Buffering within tolerable limits. Stream parameters in the green. Looks like we are clear to complete this jump. Greetings, wingmates. I hope that you find yourself well at whatever point in the cycle of your particular world you find yourself in. Today, we will be continuing our playthrough of the Homeworld Deserts of Karak campaign. We are past the halfway point, so I am unsure we will actually complete it in this particular session. Perhaps we will, or perhaps we won't. But either way, I think we will have ourselves a good time. Without further ado, let's move on to the game screen and get started. And here we are. Allow me to jack into the interface. Excellent. Alright, so let's continue the campaign. The last scenario we left off on, that we completed, was the Whispering Gallery. So now we will engage in the Kashar approach. And let us begin. So as you can see on the tactical map, the Sakala is trailing behind the Kapisi, likely because they took more damage during that engagement than we did through the Whispering Gallery here, where two Galcian carriers, the Kahad Retribution and the Kahad Sunder, ambushed us. That was a rather pitched battle, but the acquisition of artillery cruisers managed to turn the tide of the engagement.
We have been compromised. With the fall of Epsilon Base, Galcian intelligence acquired the satellite data and coordinates of our expedition's destination. They believe that whatever lies at the center of the Dreamlands, our target, is Kartoba, the birthplace of our existence on Karak, and the key to their ascension.
That's not all. Having decrypted the Galcian base data, I found a message from my brother embedded in the code.
Rachel, if you find this, you know I've been taken prisoner by the Galcian forces. One of the artifacts they've unearthed is the trigger to a weapon of vast, destructive power. They do not yet understand what they possess, but I do, and I have a plan. I know you're coming. Be ready.
The Kahad Sajuk's fleet is making for the primary anomaly. With no other choice but to resupply, we need to rendezvous with the Coalition landers inbound from Tyr. Surrounded by desert, the only place they can set down is the Kashar Plateau, located here. Coordinates locked in.
Excellent. Without supplies, we have no chance of making it to the primary anomaly. The Galcian are already on the plateau. Production cruiser, missile ships, more production cruisers, artillery ships. And at least one honor guard cruiser, if not two. And this is just what's visible.
Coalition landers, both Sujet and Sadim, are currently inbound, which means we need to secure that plateau.
There are multiple access points. All units prepare to engage the enemy and take the high ground.
Okay, excellent. Let's begin our attack.
Send.
So we captured a production cruiser last time, and we have several sets of heavy railguns.
Coordinates confirmed.
Alright, let's get our cruiser forces to the fore
Artillery loaded.
and figure out
Roll
which
out.
resourcing operation we will engage in. Let's see here. Let's get a formation of cruisers
Sakala have engaged Galcian forces, delaying their arrival.
and railguns forward. Now that I have access to cruisers, I am rather loath
Copy,
to
on our way.
use far too many small units.
Green line confirmed.
However,
Reading.
let's move the
Units
Kapisi
moving.
forward.
Coordinates confirmed.
Let's have Rachel repair the Kapisi in the meantime.
Focus the repair on
And let's
primary
power up
systems.
the primary
Weaponry
systems
systems currently active.
of the
Weapon
Kapisi
systems online.
without
Warning,
overheating her.
systems overheating.
That is an
Powering
overheat.
main cooling system.
So let's add to Kapisi's repair systems.
Be advised. Carrier repair
We are
systems
barely
online.
at the threshold.
Turret ahead. We need to avoid its line of fire.
Oh, we are being fired upon.
The data from the Gaussian base decrypted. We have gained
Hopefully
access
we
to
will
new
knock
research
out the
on
railguns
artifact
that are
technology
engaging
and
our
LRA
artillery
unit.
cruisers. Yes, we did.
Immediate fire.
Excellent.
Before the damage is done.
New upgrades to the Kapisi's fabrication system
Excellent.
are now available.
Alright,
Recommend commencing upgrades now.
let's immediately begin harvesting as much as we can and moving forward.
Armor ready. New heading
Let's
set.
get the
Going
remainder of our light
heavy
forces
turret
into position.
replacements. In order to punch through, we require a heavily armored cruiser. Confirmed. Upgrade Kapisi's fabrication facilities to produce battle cruisers.
We finally get battle cruisers. Alright, let's see what other production upgrades we have here. EMP rounds for the support cruiser, cruise missile damage, EMP shells for the artillery cruiser, improved railgun range, which is very nice, and most importantly, battle cruiser fabrication. We have the resources to do that since we harvested absolutely everything we could in the previous scenarios.
Enemy contacts on the
Assault
board.
ships. Let's get the Gaussian railguns onto this berm here. Although the assault ships may be taking that particular approach. We'll have to see what they do. They may be just on patrol.
Captain, new sector designated. Move out.
Stop.
Get moving.
Kapisi should be able to make it fairly close, or... No, the Kapisi should be able to make it onto the Kashar Plateau. So we will be able to use her as a battering ram in this scenario.
Hostile production cruiser verified. Take it out. A railgun
Production
will take
cruiser.
effective
Pull
fire.
back, pull back, pull
Hostile
back, pull
railgun
back.
opened up.
We lost the railgun. Let's use the Kapisi for this task.
Research completed.
Gaussian railguns, open fire on your opposed mates. Let's get those battle cruisers into production immediately.
Deploy against Gaussian fortifications.
Eliminated.
Let's build at least 3. More would be preferable.
Trackers designated.
Oh, and we have assault cruisers available too. So the assault cruiser is one of the strangest things in the entire game for me. Let's begin its research.
Battle report. Enemy
I don't care if I lose these Gaussian railguns all that much. Alright, let's move the artillery cruisers up,
enemy armor disabled. Push through.
along with the honor guard and the repair cruisers.
Green line confirmed.
Production cruiser can stay near the Kapisi. This force I will keep in reserve in case things get too hot.
Crew ready.
Who is that? That's the heavy turret. Let's have the artillery cruisers handle the heavy turret. This is what they're meant for. PC, all stop. Let's switch from repair to armor.
Battle cruiser operational.
Battlecruiser should be able to take this on. There we go. We now have battlecruiser force. Let's mix it in with the honor guard.
Reporting.
That will now be control group 5.
Coordinates verified.
Excellent. Honor guard is helping out against the turret.
Red alert. The command carrier taking fire.
Let's use our heavy railguns for this job.
Target on the board.
Should have taken out the turret control tower, but a little bit too late.
The hostile turret has been destroyed.
Let's see here. What kind of other upgrades do we want? I don't think I want to build more units necessarily. We have a full complement of fighters, bombers, and gunships. So our air force is fully set. Let's see, battlecruisers. So for anyone who has not seen a battlecruiser, while it looks like an artillery cruiser, it is certainly much better armored, and it is armed for direct combat. It's an excellent ship, and I suppose the core of any proper assault force. However, it can be overwhelmed by sheer numbers. For that, we will use the assault cruiser. And let me build one, pair of those at least. If not 3. Let's go with 3. Let's see, what other upgrades should we handle? I don't really care about armored vehicles that much since it's not my focus. I think... Yes, the battlecruiser payload to give it more area of effect. That is a crucial upgrade. Battlecruiser is a significant investment, and to make it be worth as much as possible is important. So our harvesting here is, I believe, complete.
Attention.
Let's move the Kapisi to this position and harvest these resources. Here we have a wreck bulkhead, which is an opportunity for an artifact. Let's use our air force to scout out these positions. Let's use the gunship since it's the most durable. We'll attack this position here,
Proceed to marked target.
and if need be, we will clean up with fighters and bombers. Oh, it's a good thing we launched.
Go
because they are right here. No missile ships, so the gunship should be okay.
Alert. Carrier taking fire.
Gunship, target what you're supposed to. Ah, yes, so here are the assault cruisers.
Hostile armor eliminate. Push through.
Where is the third assault cruiser?
Multiple cruisers detected atop the plateau. Designated.
Oh, there it is. It was hidden behind the Kapisi. Okay. Let's add these to Group 5, which is our heavy damage group. Just for simplicity, I know you can micro these very differently, especially with the maneuverability that the assault cruisers have. But first, let's get harvesting underway. Salvaging underway. So, the assault cruiser is an incredible oddity.
Get this cruiser into the fray.
It appears to be a re-engineered Galcian production cruiser, or some kind of hybrid of a honor guard cruiser and production cruiser, but it does look much more like a production variant. With anti-aircraft batteries, these autocannons, and the hover chassis. I'm uncertain how the
Set new heading.
coalition managed to so quickly reverse engineer this technology, but I suppose that's to their credit. However, I will not complain, because the assault cruiser is a very decent machine, and it provides a durable way of having anti-aircraft fire. Let's see if that upgrade is enabled. Let's see, I don't think it is yet. Battlecruiser, self-repair. That will be handy in case our repair cruisers are not available locally.
Go for artillery. Copy. Coordinates.
In fact,
Ready for command. Going mobile.
with that on our minds, let's pull our assault force back together. Let's integrate these railguns.
Hostile range craft destroyed. Move with caution.
There's little finesse to this, but now that we have battle cruisers, there is no need for finesse. Arcing fire, heavy weapons, that's all we need. So as you can see, the rate of fire of the assault cruisers is far superior to that of the battle cruisers. This significantly increases their viability against smaller, less powerful craft.
Hostile cruiser eliminated.
So those heavy turrets potentially are offline, but that may not be the case. Let's destroy them anyways. Queue them both up for destruction. No, stop. Attack. Excellent. Kapisi is done harvesting that. Let's move the Kapisi to this wreck and have Rachel clear it out.
Listen up.
What's going on here?
Hostile armor eliminated.
Railguns.
Roger. Enemy railgun
And an assault ship. Nothing very serious. Kapisi handled most of it.
All hands.
I don't know what's here, but let's send out the gunships. And let's send out essentially the entire Air Force.
Gunship set for launch.
There's no need to be
Copy that.
stingy with our air power.
Coordinates dialed in.
Strike systems
If the Galcian don't use it, that is their problem. Let's move our artillery cruisers forward.
Hostile light attack vehicle visually authenticated.
Oh! This heavy turret has missile capabilities, but the gunships are handling it surprisingly well. And the fighter strikes are knocking it out too.
An enemy turret.
Excellent, this engagement is going well.
Enemy armor disabled.
Alright, Rachel, let's crack open this Hulk.
Runner copies.
Alright, Kapisi is moving to position.
Heading set. Tracking armored craft on approach. We got something on
Alright,
the
we should improve our tactical bomber's damage so that wouldn't require nearly as many bombs.
Ready for command.
Let's move this cruiser force forward so that the artillery cruisers, while being shielded,
Mark the bear.
could take down the Galcian forces here. Assault ships, they should be no threat to this force. Let's move our rear guard up to position.
Coordinates verified.
And we have a captured assault ship.
Hostile range craft.
We'll keep it in the arsenal for now unless we run out of space. Kapisi, you're go to engage.
Hostile armor eliminated.
This should be no issue. We have not lost any aircraft.
Hostile strike craft down.
Let's see here. Cruise missile damage, EMP rounds. There we go. Tactical bomber payload.
Red alert. Command carrier taking fire.
Command carrier will be fine.
This is the captain.
Let's begin harvesting operations here. Oh, demolition charges?
Hostile production crew
No artifact. That is acceptable. Let's use the captured Galcian cruiser, production cruiser, as a resource point, while we use the Kapisi to secure this location.
Move out. Reporting.
We'll sweep around backwards and keep harvesting.
Research complete.
In the meantime... Let's see, our air power is recharged. Let's prepare a assault force. So let's launch our gunships.
CU's exhausted. Go. Proceed to marked target.
Let's launch everything we have and just attack in one fell swoop,
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
so that we don't have a trickle in case there's any air defenses.
Bomber set for launch.
While missile ships are
CU deposit depleted.
not individually powerful, especially if you are in and out, or if your fighters have slightly improved armor due to the artifacts we've obtained, they will still eventually knock out at least a fighter or two, and I do not wish to lose any more resources.
Hostile armor incoming. Hostile on sensors.
Alright, Kapisi is moving forward.
Tracking target.
I'll have Kapisi attack the turret control tower.
Alert. The Kapisi is in contact.
The aircraft are returning already.
Alert. Carrier is taking fire.
Move back, move back.
Green line verified. Go ahead.
Right, before these craft decide to do anything else silly, let me keep harassing them into moving where I want them to.
Copy. Green line verified.
Okay, so now we have 15 fighters, 3 bombers, and 2 gunships. Let's simply engage this turret control section. Let's see what we have here.
Attack vehicle detected. Interceptor taking hostile fire.
A bit of overkill. Let's clean up the remaining forces. Oh, we lost a strike fighter. Must have been to a turret. Gunships are handling the situation. Let's go back to the Kapisi and produce some more fighters. Luckily, they are fairly cheap now that we have several artifacts.
Strike fighter on.
How is Kapisi doing? She has her armor upgrade. What are you doing? Open fire. There we go. I'm impatient. Let's use a cruise missile on this turret site. It's a use of resources, but that's acceptable. I will not get cocky with the Kapisi's capabilities again. I've lost her too many times. That's acceptable. Rachel, I need some repairs.
Runner. Repair the critical systems first. Runner copies.
Excellent. She should be able to handle these assault ships. Post haste. Let's see, Rachel. She can reduce the cost of all support abilities. Ah, for Rachel specifically. Let's see. Let's get these battle cruisers upgraded.
CU field completed.
Target and destroy.
Our airstrikes are not available yet.
Deposit depleted.
Hostile craft in AO. Maneuver for visual confirmation.
Excellent. Salvagers, what are you doing?
RU coordinates acquired.
They decided to salvage this particular group here. That is not at all what I wanted to have happen.
Carrier hull at 75%.
Let's move our light force closer to their
Red
resources.
alert. Command carrier taking fire.
Kapisi, what are you doing?
We've taken out an enemy turret. Attention. New heading set.
Alright, Kapisi, move on to this little patch here. Excellent, excellent.
Hostile light attack.
So harvesting is going good. We have this patch here. Should be no Galcian forces in the vicinity. We should be able to clear the Kashar Plateau fairly quickly. So I'm hesitant to go forward because there are likely artillery and honor guard cruisers on the plateau proper. So first I will clear out any side positions here. I am going to assume that there are production cruisers harvesting those CUs in that area. So before we do anything else, let's send a base runner probe.
Reading you.
Here's our base runner launching its probe.
Alert. Carrier is
A
taking
scryer.
enemy railgun firing on friendlies. Ready to
Is Group 5 under fire? No, it's the Kapisi.
armor. Eliminate.
She's got railguns attacking her. She can handle this.
Alert. Carrier is taking fire. Attention.
Alright. Rachel, keep repairing the Kapisi. Let's see what this probe reveals. It'd be good to know what the enemy concentrations are. But I want this resource patch all to myself.
Carrier hull passing 75%.
Kapisi should also be able to handle this location here. So salvagers are done there. And we can move our captured Galcian production cruiser to be a drop-off point for this operation. And there is another bulkhead here to salvage. We will do that later.
Ready, send. Target set.
Kapisi, please destroy that. Kapisi is not being aggressive enough. That is acceptable, though. Rachel, please continue the repairs. Alright, let's move the Kapisi in to secure this site.
Battle report. Enemy cruiser destroyed.
The rear approach may not be the best. Let's move this force here, just in case we need cavalry. I would like to clear out this rear approach before those reinforcements do anything strange to us. Alright, what other upgrades do we have? Battlecruiser and direct fire, let's do that. And we'll increase the Kapisi's cruise missile damage. Since if we are paying resources for every single strike, we want it to count as much as possible. Let's see, EMP rounds, I'm not sure that's worth it at the moment. I don't use the abilities as often as I should. Alright.
Red alert. Command carrier taking fire. Ready.
I think the Kapisi will be okay here. As long as Rachel keeps doing her job and repairing the Kapisi.
An RU site has been depleted.
Alright, the salvagers are cleaning up this position. In the meantime, let's clear out this site. Let's do an attack move. So there's nothing funny. Alright, what other research can we do? Burst modulation. I do not use the LAVs enough. Fighter speed, yes. Having them... Is that a second cruise missile payload? That'll be the next thing we research. BC is looking good. Let's destroy that turret control tower. So that way we can salvage this bulkhead. We'll keep the Kapisi here and we'll use the cruiser force to clean up everything else.
Enemy light attack vehicle marked on approach. Tracking armored craft.
Let's do a single preemptive barrage by one of our artillery cruisers. That was a waste. Not enough forces. That appears to be cleared out. Let's clear out this section. Excellent. How's the Kapisi doing? It appears she is not pathfinding very well in this position. Let's move her forward. We'll have to manually handle this. Rachel, please guard the Kapisi. And Kapisi, handle these railguns. Due to the line of sight here, they were not able to see the Kapisi until it was far too late for them. Being in point defense gun range meant they made a terrible mistake. Excellent. Alright. PC, please clear out that turret control tower. And there is a siege cruiser on that hill that the Kapisi is more than able to reach, and it is not retaliating. Let's improve that missile payload. And what is happening here?
Move with caution. We have hostiles on the board.
Nothing. Nothing in particular.
Copy, on our way.
Let's destroy this turret control tower.
Enemy armor. Bearing designated. All hands.
Harvesting is complete here. Let's move on and get this edge piece here and protect them with our light forces.
Combat relay. Hostile cruiser eliminated. We've got a salvager under fire.
Oh, we have... The turret has managed to reach out to our salvagers. How are these salvagers doing? We've only taken damage. We have not lost any yet.
Enemy armor disabled. Check the latest strike craft taking effective fire.
Kapisi will be able to handle this, no problem.
Opened up. Reporting.
Those are railguns, I'm betting. Yes, heavy railguns.
Receiving. Punch it. We got
Let's use our LAV's charge ability
hostile strike craft down.
to knife fight these railguns where they are ineffective.
Target fire. Focus fire on their mag rails.
Excellent. I do love the voice work here.
Hostile range
That
craft
the
destroyed.
LAVs said focus fire on their mag rails. That level of detail that they have special voice lines, even for
Attention.
just a throwaway line that you might have missed if the LAV was somewhere else on the battlefield.
Eliminate.
That I find very impressive. The battle chatter, I think, is one of the Homeworld series' greatest fortes.
Salvage your
How
copy.
many salvagers do we have?
Advance to mark CUs.
These stayed behind. Alright, Rachel, let's get some demo charges. Oh, hello, Alaric. Oh, you like the look of this this particular formation.
Duly authenticated.
Yeah, this is definitely some kind of oh, this is where my geology fails me.
Enemy AA units on the plateau.
But the way the rock splits is very nice.
They must be removed.
I'm sure that they planned years in advance that this would be used as a landing site since it appears to be level enough.
Send message.
Let's see how our cruisers are doing here. They are attacking the honor guard cruiser using our artillery.
Sakala has disengaged from enemy forces and now on approach to the plateau.
Oh, the Sakala will be joining us. Well, I do not trust Captain Mashad. We need that Sadim bastard here to help clear out the
Hostile
Galcian.
designated. Trackers assigned. We read you. On the move.
Right, that resource section has been cleared out. We can now...
Standing by. We're moving.
Rachel, are you trapped?
We're ready for enemy armor. Save moving.
Something is wrong with the pathfinding in this particular scenario. Or at least right at this very moment.
Taking fire. Position marked.
Oh, our cruiser is under attack. Let's take a look at what's going on.
Readjust for target.
This should not be an issue. Let's use
Hit 'em fast and
our artillery cruisers to saturate the area.
eliminate.
I love saying that. Saturate the area. Oh, look at that.
Down. Enemy
Look at those
railgun
beautiful
firing.
explosions just popping off,
Engage. High rate of fire.
leaving nothing but twisted Galcian metal.
Keep on them.
As if their siege cruiser could do anything.
Hostile battle cruiser eliminate.
Our artillery cruisers are taking serious damage. Alright, let's hold at this mouth of this dune entrance to the plateau.
Hostile designated. Mark bearing.
We'll use our artillery to our advantage.
Ready.
Let's move this particular group to plug up this hole.
Coordinates confirmed.
Alright, Rachel, chargers are set. Oh. Unfortunately, that was a little too close for comfort.
Salvage your copies.
Salvagers begin salvaging. Rachel, please guard this area.
Runner copies.
Repair everything you can.
Kapisi copy.
PC is now going to clear the right flank here. No. Kapisi, can you make it this way? Yes. Let's go around this way. Hello, Niwa. How are you doing? Don't get in a pickle. Well, you can call me Vlasic, because I'm awful vinegary today. No, I'm not. I'm doing quite fine. I hope that everyone else is too. I appreciate your puns, Niwa. They were quite great and gave me a hearty chuckle.
CU site exhausted.
All right, Rachel did her job.
Enemy contact.
Let's
On the
clear
move.
out. Let's blow apart this next bulkhead for salvaging operations. Kapisi's gonna take the long way around, and then together we'll pincer the Galcian on the plateau.
CU's exhausted.
A sponsorship, that would be great. The first hardcore 420 XX gamer sponsored by Vlasic Pickles. Oh, you know a guy in the dark
Collect it all.
pickle cabal. Don't worry, I won't ask any further questions. I wouldn't want to find myself all of my body parts chopped up and put into different jars of brine. That would be quite the
Completed.
We're clear to move.
quite the problem. Oh, Oh, for anyone joining us,
Enemy armor on.
we got a new unit. We have a battle cruiser, which is this lovely armored brick, which is essentially the artillery cruiser, but with more armor and proper turrets slapped on top of it. And this is not a captured cruiser. This is a home-built assault cruiser, as they call it. And it is what appears to be a Gaussian production cruiser hull, up-armored, and equipped with autocannons. And this was done by the Coalition. So they're clearly getting used to the hover technology. Although they have not applied it to their own battlecruiser chassis. Kapisi's handling this no problem. Let's blast apart this salvage site.
Brenner copies. Brenner copies. Ready.
Oh, come Rachel, you are far too close. Don't make me wait for blast charges. Alright, Rachel, onto the next site.
Okay.
Clear it out.
Time to roll. Energy
Artifact.
confirmed. An artifact has been
Perfect.
discovered.
This is why you blow apart every bulkhead. You never know when there's an artifact lurking. Alright.
Carrier here.
Kapisi is on approach.
Recovered. Authentication confirmed.
We've got hostile on sensors. Confirm visual.
Excellent. Artifact recovered. What did we recover? Oh no, it has not been put into the Kapisi yet.
Reading.
Alright, let's see what we have here. We have a bunch of assault craft. Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Ready. Hostile armor. Eliminate.
Let's see if the Kapisi is able to do an approach here. Yes, she is. So let's simply clear out this section.
Red alert. Command carrier taking
Alright,
fire.
resourcers can move on to this zone and begin harvesting.
Mark CUs. Send message.
Rachel will be protected by this group of light craft. To anyone who has seen professional Deserts of Karak gameplay, I apologize that I'm not using the sort of extreme strike craft cross targeting system. Let's see what that is. This is our new artifact, likely used for deep space combat. This system uses exceptional high-range anastigmat sight, which is far more efficient at eliminating optical aberrations than current technology. Interesting, so this is an optical targeting system, rather than some kind of radar, LiDAR, or a thermal system. Increases weapons accuracy of all ranged vehicles by 25%. All ranged vehicles, which is to say, every vehicle. That is almost an oxymoron in a game with no melee. The only melee I would describe would be the Kanefi bomb drone, which was produced by their base runner. So this is something you don't encounter in the campaign, to my knowledge, but the Gaussian do have a base runner that is used in skirmish.
Strike craft.
Kapisi, move forward. I want that artifact there. Right, harvesting is ongoing. Rachel has returned. Let's get Rachel to blast apart this artifact here.
Brenner copies.
Excellent, and we'll have her move back from the blast zone. Now that we've queued that up, I will leave the anti-air squad alone because I do not want to trigger the end of the scenario. That is a sub-objective of securing the Kashar Plateau. Alright, it appears that our artillery cruisers have found their quarry already. I don't even have visual, and they are already opening up fire on the production cruiser.
Unidentified hostile incoming. Authenticate.
Excellent. Alright, let's just creep up the artillery cruiser so they can gain some veterancy. What's going on here? Ah, we are being attacked with artillery, I believe. Yes, we are. Let's pull back. We have lost most of our LAVs. I may replace them, I may not. Let's take a look at research that we may be missing. Let's see. Battlecruiser ability recharge. Why not? And strike fighter range. Now that is nice. It lets us avoid anti-aircraft fire for a longer period of time, since we can launch missiles and not perhaps run into a second volley from an anti-aircraft source.
Alert, the Kapisi is taking fire.
Piece it, you will be okay.
Research completed.
These are railguns, but this is not a problem. Let's simply make sure we select everything for targeting so that she prioritizes. Strike fighter range, yes. And we may do railgun range. And EMP shell, actually. That may be effective against cruisers.
This is Rachel. Go ahead.
Alright, so we only have research units left here. All the construction units have been absorbed. This should not take long.
Support ready.
I think this force will just simply pull back.
We've got hostile on sensors. Confirm visual. Attention.
Alright, Kapisi has secured this zone.
Get us moving.
Let's see what the artillery cruisers are handling. They're going for the assault railguns.
Enemy production cruiser.
So while the assault railguns can definitely get into range and even evade the fire of the artillery cruisers, they are still counters to each other, especially considering how much spam these artillery cruisers can put out. Let's see if we can get some close-up firing shots.
Thanks for the update. Strike craft destroyed.
These definitely look like hedgehog launchers slash volley mortars rather than missiles. Although they do have a very quiet report. Let's see, are we being attacked by... I couldn't even identify that cruiser. Kapisi, knock out that production cruiser. Let's pincer this.
An RU site.
However, let's pincer it properly. Let's move all the cruisers to this position. Oh. Galcian forces there.
Enemy armor on
Let's see what kind of demolition
We have eyes on an
artifact.
Stand by.
Alright, Rachel, please handle the artifact. And then we're gonna move Rachel over here. She should be able to slip through to where the Kapisi is.
Hold here.
And then we can do recovery for that. So there's a force coming through our back.
Eliminated.
Through our... okay. Let's simply clear out this production cruiser.
Fire on lock.
I think this scenario is in the bag. The only concern I have is not... Oh,
Prepare anti-air units.
thank you for the twist. Okay, so bombers are actually a decent enough threat. And if they're coming from the north, I will simply have the Kapisi produce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go with 8 missile batteries. Actually, no. 6 missile batteries will be enough from the Kapisi. And we should be able to intercept most of the bombers coming in.
Hostile detected.
Has Rachel picked up the artifact?
Support ready.
No, she simply
They're en route.
did not understand what I was saying.
Artillery cruiser under attack.
Unfortunate.
Respond.
Oh,
Send men.
I got flanked. Am I losing an artillery cruiser is the question. I may.
Alert. Battle cruiser is taking fire. Position
Where
marked.
is my support cruiser?
Get fire on that railgun.
Missile battery online.
Okay, no, the artillery cruisers handled that very well. Let's move our forces into position with the Kapisi. Excellent. We are going to begin harvesting operations.
Advance and evaluate.
Rachel, please pick up the artifact.
Just when we were getting comfortable.
Alright, let's try this again.
Board's green. Reposition.
You got this, Rachel. You got this. I believe in you. You've picked up many artifacts. Alright. If you're not going to do that, back up and then try again. Alright, let's move the missile batteries to the rear here, behind the Kapisi, so that we have a little bit of warning, a little bit of advanced firing time before the bombers arrive.
Carrier copies.
Kapisi is damaged, but nothing too serious. Now, if Rachel could pick up the artifact...
Science officer responding.
Oh, I see, we're having... It wants to have her move slash harvest. Oh, come on, Rachel. Let's zoom in a little. Pick up the glowing wreck.
Okay, time to roll.
Okay, so the issue here is I think the resource patch is on top of it, and my cursor is having a hard time clicking on the artifact itself.
Board's green. Reposition.
Let's see if harvesting will clean this up.
Hostiles designated. Trackers assigned. For orders. Identified RU site on
Okay.
fire. Conducting sweep.
Let's clear out this RU patch first, or CU patch first. RU. Why do they even try? They stand no chance against my cruiser force.
Support cruiser. Unidentified contact. Designated hostile.
That is pretty intimidating. And the Kapisi decided to join.
Go for carrier. New heading. Adjust.
Let's pull back the Kapisi. Where are the bombers? I fully expected them. Let's see. In the meantime, let's give our artillery cruiser an EMP shell. And, yes, so these EMP rounds for the support cruiser are very different, since it makes their little machine guns disable the units that they are firing at. which is rather nice since that's what they what swarmers do. Oh, good. Harvesting is complete there. We can hopefully clear out this area.
Research completed.
And then Rachel should be able to salvage the artifact. I will be most remiss if Rachel is not able to do so. If we are permanently glitched out of another artifact. Ah, I see we have a guard operation. Let's clear that up.
Moving out. All systems green.
So these heavy railguns are accompanying a cruiser force, so it should not be an issue if we completely permanently run them on ranged calibration. And what ranged calibration does is it makes the Gaussian railgun glow red hot and increases its range while slowing it down. So this lovely hovering box of death is now on par with the cruiser's pace, especially the slower and less maneuverable coalition cruisers. See, this is why artillery cruisers are great. I get advance warning of what's going on. With the honor guard and the Kapisi, this should not be an issue. Now, if it was that many honor guard cruisers, I would be sweating.
Hostile armor eliminated.
Rachel here?
All right, Rachel, how can we do this together? I want to make this happen. I want that artifact, and I know you do too. You love science, Rachel. This is why you went on this expedition.
Just when we were getting
It runs in your family. It runs in your kith. Right? If we are not going to do that,
Board's green.
we'll just wait till this particular resource patch is cleared up.
Secure PDA for move. CUs identified.
Oh no, they have CUs in their cargo. They can't continue harvesting RUs.
Be advised.
Other way around.
RU site has been
I'm very
blocked
used to
for
RUs since
Secure vehicle for move.
that was the convention in Homeworld 1 and 2. And of course, Cataclysm / Emergence. If you have only seen it sold on GOG recently and not the original release.
An RU site has been depleted.
Alright.
Runner copies.
Rachel. Onegai. It's just an artifact.
We're moving out. Spool
I'm
up.
even using the correct icon. We really may have to wait till the patch is cleared out. There's something about the overlapping,
Depleted.
I suppose, effect templates here.
Hostile on sensors. Authentication.
Alright, she'll pull back.
Set.
Call that hostiles?
Battle cruiser is facing resistance. Position marked.
That's what I call artillery fodder.
Enemy railgun eliminated. Hostile railguns opened up.
Yeah, the battle cruiser is tanking the railgun fire now. And the battle cruisers can very much absorb it without too much difficulty, especially if there's repair cruisers. And repair cruisers are these gantry-looking crawlers, which have these repair beam emitters. If you're familiar with Homeworld 1, the repair craft there also use beam emitters, which is oddly enough a technology lost by the time of Homeworld 2.
CUs exhausted.
Hello, AIOU_UUU. Are the artillery even trying to lead their shots? They keep shooting all over the place. I'm not sure if they're leading. They definitely do not do their best at it. And I think that may be a balancing thing, because if the artillery could actually lead, this would be far more dangerous. It may be very overpowered. Although it also may not be as useful, since the artillery cruiser is rather frail for something of its size, and it has very poor close-in weaponry. It only has 2 of these close-in weapon systems, which are barely visible on the overall hull of the cruiser. There it is. A multi-barrel. This is probably something like 30mm, considering the scale of these vessels.
CU field depleted.
Let's take a look at a light attack vehicle. That's probably more like a 20mm autocannon, or whatever unit of measurement is used on Karak at the time of exile. Do we have a single LEV? Yes, we do. One remaining. One remaining LEV. Not. There we go.
Acknowledged.
Oh, come now.
Displacing now. Strike
There we
cruise
go.
ready.
So that might be 20mm, maybe 50 caliber at best, or 12.7mm, or something of that size. As you can see, a human being is shorter than this door here, or perhaps a little bit taller, but overall, this is the smallest vehicle in the game.
CU deposit depleted.
Then we're talking about the armored assault vehicle, which, as you can see, the ladder is already fairly small compared to the overall scale. Same with the railgun. The base runner, the cockpit, as you can see here, is fairly small relative to the rest of the craft. And then when we move on to the cruisers, well then, all bets are off. Oh, stop. The bridge here is very small.
CU site exhausted.
So this is like an apartment block on tracks.
Hostile light attack vehicle visually authenticated. We've detected something. Can you
Oh,
confirm
here we
visual?
come, sand skimmers. So it would be foolish of me to use. Let's launch gunships, but launch them sideways,
Proceed to marked target.
because there is an anti-aircraft squad that will rip them apart. Gunship launch. Ah, the engine is glitching. The gunship did not appear as a visual effect. Here is the Coalition gunship. Has 2 autocannons. Oh. Alright. Move in to attack gunship.
Copy.
And the second gunship has joined us.
Gunship ready.
Perfect.
Course set. We have a target.
There we go.
Shield expended.
Let's watch this happen.
Strike craft destroyed.
I wonder why this second autocannon is not firing.
Hostile range craft destroyed.
And they're out of ammo and returning to base. Excellent. That was a good sortie.
Copy. Returning to carrier.
Alright, Rachel? All of the RU is gone.
Collect the artifact.
CU is gone. You can get this. In the meantime, let's relocate these production units, these resourcing units, to the next bulkhead location.
Artifact recovered. Authentication confirmed.
Excellent. So that was a glitch where Rachel was unfortunately unable to grab the artifact due to it being placed on top of a resource point. I do love the animations for the wheels here.
Order confirmed.
They turn.
Copy. On our way.
Please return the artifact. Yes.
Ready. Copy that.
Ah.
Coordinates confirmed.
The it's a little hard to rotate. Oh. Rachel, please get out of the cliff face. Cliffs are beautiful, but I think these doodads here may not correctly clip sometimes. Yeah. Ah, I see. By the standard layout, I wouldn't have seen that. So perhaps less effort was put into
Reading
it.
you, command.
All games have little oddities like that, I think. There we go. Rachel is doing what I want her to do. Let's deselect her. Deselect, please.
Runner copy.
All I want to do is focus on her visually. Alt click, control click.
Reading you.
Alt click, yes. Okay. From my understanding, all of the simulation of these vehicles, with their suspension movement and any jumps they may do, is entirely independent of the actual game mechanics underneath. So for example, your base runner might be flying around or taking a leap, but that does not affect its actual position as an entity in terms of the calculations of attacks and damage. And that way, the netcode for the game, which was a huge emphasis during development, is able to be much more reliable when there's like a separation of physics and all actions are entirely deterministic. There's no on-the-second calculation. I believe this was also something done in Homeworld 2, where the mechanics of shooting went from a ballistic pattern, where shots could actually properly miss with simply depending on how enemies moved, to a RNG type of attack. Which was a bit of a shame, because one of the interesting things about Homeworld 1 is when you have fighter craft and the like moving around, then
Acknowledged.
you are able to counter units that you would not expect to be able to counter
Okay. Time to roll. Runner copies.
with units that aren't necessarily directly designed for that. Like, for example, fighters or even cruisers can attack one another, and while the cruiser, simply because the turrets have such terrible swing, have such terrible rotation time, oh my goodness. And yes, Supreme Commander definitely has that issue because of the non-deterministic physics. Oh, Hachu! Oh, hello! Hello, Lapin! How are you doing today? Hello everyone! Welcome to the transmission. I hope it is stable on your end. Oh goodness. My life support is screaming at me with elevated heart rate response. Please stand by. There may be an administration of sedatives. Alright, resources cleared. No artifacts. We're actually in a lull, so this is a good time. Oh my. Is your internet fine now? Oh yes, quite, Magical Girl Syrup. The internet is functioning. Hello, Raiders. I hope you are prepared to fight for this claim that you have made against my transmission here. I have very loyal wingmates who are willing to don power armor and fight you in the hallways of the wishful thinking, although the wishful thinking does not really have hallways. My ship is a very small, cramped, and compact affair. And please don't get anywhere near the reactor core. I have not had it replaced in... Well, the current core, the outer casing is 100 years old or so, and it is highly transmuted and radioactive. So, fair warning. Lapin, how was your stream earlier?
An RU site has been depleted.
I was a little bit indisposed at the moment. Tithe of the Wanderers. That is a upgrade we just got. Or a artifact. Tithe of the Wanderers. A brutally effective explosive compound. Once reverse engineered and found to be simple to reproduce, our aircraft pilots clamored to integrate it into their weaponry. To them, it is a tool of vengeance. Increases the damage of all weapons and aircraft by 20%. All aircraft. Nice.
CU site exhausted.
The game crashed at each level too. That's pretty bugged. Oh, Action 52. Oh my goodness. That's an experience right there. I commend you for going that far. If I wore a hat, I would tip it. Unfortunately, my skull cap is a rather... It makes for hat fitting quite difficult. Kuso indeed. Okay, our resource collection is approaching completion here. So, I think once... No, let's leave the production cruiser to harvest this. So, have any of the raiders coming in, have you seen Homeworld, Deserts of Karak, or perhaps any of the other Homeworld games, such as Homeworld 1, Homeworld Cataclysm / Emergence, if you've seen the good old games re-release, or Homeworld 2? They're also the remastered versions of Homeworld 1 and 2.
CU field expended. CU site exhausted.
Hello, Meat. Hello, Mao. Hello, Holopilot. Yes, this is Homeworld Deserts of Karak, which is chronologically the most recent release, but it is a prequel to the game Homeworld 1, which, so Homeworld 1 is the story of exiles, and I won't spoil why they're exiles, but this is the origin of those exiles.
Go for Kapisi.
So this right here is... not either. Bunzel, you have not seen any of it. Rue has seen bits and pieces. Okay. Niwa, the transmission's failing on your end? Let's take a look at the synchronization timer. From the feed that I have, that I'm using as a sample, and the feed that is upon my OBS transmission device, I appear to have a insignificant delay. I am sorry, Niwa. I don't know if my parameters have fallen out of proper alignment. Reminds you of the original concept of Halo Combat Evolved. I'm not familiar with the very beginnings of the concepts of Halo Combat Evolved, but rain on your end. Or maybe there's a, solar storms or something like that. I do hope the stream recovers. Oh, good, good, good. Yes, yes, there's always stellar interference. So, we are essentially we are commanding this carrier here, which is a city block-sized parking lot that launches fighters, bombers, and has a gigantic production bay called the Kapisi. The Kapisi belongs to the Kith Sajet, which is part of the Northern Coalition on the planet Karak. The Northern Coalition's task right now is to recover or to understand what a special, highly energy-emissive artifact in the deep southern deserts of Karak is. And this is called the Anomaly, which, as we learned recently, may be Kartoba, the first city of Karak, where the history of the Karaki people begins, which is now shrouded in myth and legend, simply because it was many thousands of years ago. And right now, we are being faced by the Galcian. The Kith Galcian is a Kith of exiles who once committed a terrible atrocity in destroying a holy city of the Karaki people due to their, I suppose, arrogance. They, along with Kith Sadim, who unfortunately is our ally right now, have in essence been the two Kiths that have caused most of the trouble on Karak in its past. But either way, the Northern Coalition right now is fighting the exiles who have extreme technology. So if you look at one of the battle cruisers of the Coalition, so this beast right here. Ah, you see. So does this play into the lore of the Dark Funny? I am unfamiliar with the Dark Funny, Hollow. Would you mind linking that or explaining it a little bit? So if you can see this Coalition battle cruiser, it is incredibly blocky. It relies on mechanical tracks, has, you know, pretty crude suspension. I cannot imagine the poor intern who has to go into this linkage here and clean out the desert dust. That is punishment right there. And I cannot imagine track tensioning this crawler gear. Like, the scale of these is absolutely enormous compared to a human being. Let me produce for you, my wingmates and boarders, a light attack vehicle. So this is the Kapisi's production bay, and this is a light attack vehicle. Look at this nimble little bugger. That is the smallest vehicle in the game. And if you look at this little ladder and this little door, that is approximately human scale. This little cutie with the probably 50 to 20 millimeter automatic rotary weapons is a baby. Here is the Kapisi, and here are the various cruisers. Let me bring the LAV next to the cruisers. So the Gaussian technology is essentially built from salvaged starships. This little chunk right here, that I unfortunately have already blasted apart and salvaged, is a chunk of fallen starship. The current theory by the crew of the Kapisi is that the primary anomaly is some kind of subspace thing, or some kind of hyperspace thing, quantum waveform. It's not quite understandable what it is, that essentially intercepts any starships that are currently transiting through space and approach Karak. And so there are many, many wreckages on Karak that the Galcian have salvaged. And thus, this captured Honor Guard cruiser is a fantastic example of how sleek, how advanced their technology is. Theirs is able to hover, it's able to jink sideways, whereas these artillery cruisers have to turn around like ponderous turtles. Tortoises, more appropriately. This is a desert after all. Yes, they are cute little guys. Let's see. The backrooms of Brazil are a small piece of the bigger picture, and the Dark Funny is a dimension where nothing makes sense. This is, I think, beyond my my understanding of the lore of our world, so of Terra. So maybe I need to look that up a little bit. All right, now that we've harvested all of the possible resources on the map, so that we are prepared for the next scenario, let's simply destroy the remainder of the Galcian. So let's use one of our base runners. And the base runner is the mascot of the game. You'll see it on the cover You'll see it on the main menu. It's essentially a support craft. All right, let us launch a reconnaissance probe to see what our Gaussian friends are up to. Let's see. Let's launch the next probe. Since they have an anti-aircraft squad, this probe will not last long. Let's see, cruiser force, move forward. Oh, no, this is the wrong force. That was group 4. Alright, let's take a look at what this probe is seeing. The terrain in this game is beautiful, I will say that. The designers put incredible amounts of love into the level details, into the terrain, into the effects. And there goes our probe, and it's just the anti-aircraft squad. And a production cruiser with assault railguns. Not a problem. Where are my artillery cruisers? You know what, since people are here, let's use a cruise missile. But I want the cruise missile to be visible. Darn, this is unfortunate. How do I get visibility for a cruise missile? You know what, let's just simply go with a cruiser finish to this. Where are my artillery?
Systems up. Cruiser ready.
Okay.
Green light to proceed.
Moving into position. And if there are any professional Deserts of Karak players out there watching this, I once again apologize for my love of big vehicles and not using the lighter craft. And I think we can recycle this, actually, let's add the light attack vehicle to Command Group 1, which is the pathetic remainders of what was once my proud light attack vehicle force that was artilleried into oblivion. Alright, let's turn off the HUD. I think I got it all of them selected. Let's turn the HUD back on. And let's just do an attack move and watch the carnage unfold. Alright. HUD offline. The dust. There's so much dust.
Time to move.
Bring me further victims. The idea of assault railgun deeply concerns and intrigues you. I'm not sure I'll have time in this scenario to build one. There's the Honor Guard cruiser opening up with its heavy railgun. Bring death. And I will do that. Oh, the LAV decided to join in the fun. No, go home, LAV. You're drunk. Look at that guy, being all brave. Neum. Yeah, stay safe, little buddy. We don't want you to get hurt when the big boys are out there playing. So the assault railgun is a short-range railgun which has a triple rapid-fire barrel. It's a Gaussian exclusive technology. Oh, well, the anti-air squad stands no chance against the cruisers. Anti-missile ships have no ground attack unless they use a special attack in the case of the Coalition anti-aircraft battery. Oh.
Hold the plateau.
Okay, we need our HUD now. So they will likely...
Displacing now.
So let's circle the wagons immediately. Okay, all of our resources to the center to be protected by our light forces. Kapisi. Kapisi will hold the rear. Let's see, Rachel can be with the Kapisi, the production cruiser can stay with can actually go with the resources. Circle the wagons, circle the wagons. We should be fine, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So, for context... Oh, well, since the scenario is not over... Oh, the assault force is on the other end of the Kashar Plateau. So while I have one moment here, let me build for you an assault railgun. Build assault railgun. Let's see what kind of upgrades I also have. Let's do upgrade railgun range. And our support cruiser EMP rounds. This time I think we may actually be able to use the cruise missile to its full effect, if this assault force is truly as terrifying as I expect it to be. Or even if it's a letdown, they are still target practice. Alright, so the Gaussian are a little funny in that their carrier is unable to produce anything besides fighter craft and cruisers. So here is the assault railgun. It's a triple barrel hover platform that we will now include in our force to hopefully see in action. So let's use our base runners to recon the assault force. I really want to know what's happening. Heavy railguns, pull back. You're good, but not that good. So back to the assault railgun. He's a little stubbier, but a little more armored than the standard heavy railgun. Hollow, I'm not sure that these are magnets. This is some kind of technology that is far beyond, I suppose, both early 21st century Terran technology, as per your simulation, and even in my time, ostensible time, the, what is anti-gravity? There is no such thing. It's, that has been a dream for millennia, and it has been a pipe dream. Right, I did not see where that recon probe went because I was busy admiring the curves of the assault railgun. Let's send another probe out. And maybe the Kapisi will have a chance to use our cruise missiles. Rachel, get out of the way of the Kapisi.
Go for carrier.
Go for carrier.
Alert. Enemy heavy cruiser detected.
Heavy cruiser. Alright, let's fire off a cruise missile. They are there. Cruise missile away. Oh, the beautiful power. Come to me, my children. Embrace oblivion. Ah, you worship Sajuk, I worship artillery.
Target locked. Fire missiles.
Rip them apart. You stood no chance.
Been secured. Excellent work. Galcian forces in retreat.
Yes, beautiful explosions. And the big boom did make my brain feel good. The Galcian, they're brave, but they're overcommitted to their attacks.
We need to hold this landing zone.
And in that sense, you could call them foolish. They should have brought more honor guard cruisers.
Personal log. Intelligence Officer Nathan Sajet. Expedition Carrier Kapisi. Back home, the tide of war is starting to turn. Our men and women are fighting door to door, reclaiming entire neighborhoods as they push back these Galcian invaders. But here, the Kahad Sajuk's fleet is approaching our expedition's target as we are forced to sit and wait on landers inbound from Tyr. We are so close, yet with every hour we fall further behind our enemy. The future of our expedition depends on those flight crews. Roach, you crazy SOB. You're the best lander pilot I've ever known. If anyone can do this, it's you. You better not have forgotten that bottle I asked for.
If bullets wear your name, and grenades are to whom it may concern, then Dirk grid coordinates. Yes, Holopilot, that is the sentiment that artillery cruisers bring. Ah, Mundo. Wait a second, is that Tufexis? Was the intelligence officer's voice actor someone you recognized? That'd be pretty cool. I definitely really enjoy all of the voice acting in this game. I think it is top-notch. I think all of the Homeworld games have an excellent narration. If you've ever played Homeworld 1 and 2, Karen Sajet has a wonderful deadpan as she lets you know what the tactical situation is. So, incident report. Kashar range secured under duress. Digging in and awaiting orders. Runway clear. So if you look at this fleet status bar, we can see that we have the distance to the primary anomaly, which is our target, and I believe this is written in megameters. I am not quite sure. So if that's, if mega is, let's see, kilo, so that's 6, okay, so that's about 2,430 kilometers, if these are meters. And the temperature outside is 61 degrees Celsius, which is rather hot. As you can see, we are running very low on supplies here in terms of fuel and water. So, hopefully these landers make it. And as you can see on the map here, this is our path. The Sakala is on approach, and this dotted line is our plotted route to the anomaly. Alright, let's continue onward. You are more interested in the combined air support and flanking. Combined arms is a very fun thing. I actually have not been using aircraft since there were anti-aircraft batteries in this mission, but there is plenty of aircraft to go around, and I think I will be using them extensively in this next scenario. 61 degrees. Reminds me of your old job. Temperature does play a factor in that the Kapisi has power points to allocate to subsystems. Oh, here's a cutscene. I will pause for a moment.
As we speak, satellite data has identified the Kahad Sajuk's fleet approaching the site of the primary anomaly.
Oh my god.
It's some kind of orbital weapons platform. The weapon issued a recognition code to the surface. An ID transponder returned the signal. The return signal originated here.
That's it. That's what Jacob was talking about. I need to go investigate the source of that signal.
It's risky, but you're right, Rachel. Take a combat escort and secure the transponder. Galcian reinforcements are closing on our position fast, but we should be able to hold them off long enough to resupply. We will then rendezvous at your location.
Roger that.
So Rachel will not be available for this scenario.
This is Lander 05 Bravo. Do you copy? Copy 05, go ahead. We are inbound on your marker. Emergency fuel critical. We are racing the gauge and will only have one chance before our tanks run dry. Understood. We'll have the red carpet rolled out.
Those landers are way past bingo
We
fuel.
must defend the landing zone until our transports arrive. We anticipate Galcian assaults will come at us through these approaches here. Turrets and mines will prove effective at these choke points.
Okay, so...
We've had salvage teams reclaim the wreckage of several Galcian heavy turrets.
Oh, good.
The turrets have been positioned at defensive locations on the plateau, but their armor is damaged. Repair those turrets. We'll need all the firepower we can get. Ready.
Excellent. So while we have...
Galcian forces are approaching our contact range.
While we have the
Hold
initiative...
high ground at all costs.
Thank you, Intel Officer. Oh, you forged a knife. Nice, nice. I've had some experience in a small forge that was I suppose at the Vintage Terran Fair, where I was allowed to mess around with that a little bit, but definitely not experience in a metal forge. Okay, so our honor guard cruiser is here. Let's get our support cruisers back into the fray, and let's repair these heavy turrets.
We've exposed additional resource sites on the far side of the plateau. Cleared for move.
Oh, there's more resources. Okay. So right now, before this pass becomes a problem due to Galcian forces coming through, we will be harvesting these CUs as quickly as possible. And we'll let the Kapisi cover the resourcing operation. We'll have the missile craft stay behind, and we will move our cruiser force into a nice bundle.
We're clear to move.
So let's see, cruiser force.
Systems up.
We'll need the support cruisers and the honor guard. Let's deselect the base runner.
Artillery.
We'll move all of our cruisers into this position and all of our light forces.
Guard formation. Ready. Fly operator. All clear.
Alright, let's get all of our light forces moved away into a second command group
Base runner responding.
to cover this RU site. And in the meantime... Alright, excellent. We've separated into heavy and light forces. Do we have any more population that we can utilize? Let's build... Let's build a battle cruiser. No, for fast response, let's build an assault cruiser that can accompany the light forces. I am not going to cover every single entrance. There is no point in wasting my forces that way.
CU deposit depleted. CU field depleted.
So I've certainly been on desert worlds with temperatures this high. Wingmates, what kind of hot places have you been? Places with scorching sand, with no water.
Go for carrier.
I know there are many worlds that are utterly inhospitable. Australia, ah yes.
Copy. We see that now. Sorry about
That is from my understanding of the historical records, even before the the atomic war that consumed Terra in the late second millennium,
Assault cruiser ready for
Australia was already quite hot. Sauna. Nevada desert, Florida. Oh. My understanding of Florida is that there is humidity. That is something I have never had to experience in great depth. I mostly spend my time in a humidity-controlled environment.
Galcian reconnaissance force.
Do hot springs count? Well, if they're hotter than they're the hottest place you've been, then why not?
Authentication. Galcian aircraft inbound.
Oh, here come Galcian assault ships. Yes, when I had some environmental failures and my humidity went out of control on board when I was not in my pod, it was definitely one of the more unpleasant experiences.
Enemy airstrike inbound.
Enemy airstrike inbound.
Galcian forces have entered contact range. They're coming at us from all sides.
So the Sadim, we have to hold out for 8 minutes while the Sadim arrive. Let's see here. Almost as hot as California in the summer. Ah, that I have heard is also a very hot place in different locations. I believe one of the hottest places on Earth at that point was Death Valley, and that was in the geographic California. Ah, so the assault cruiser, unlike typical. Okay, we need to allocate power.
armor systems
Oh.
active. Armor
So
systems
here
operational.
is
Weaponry
the.
systems currently active.
Oh dear, what is going on here? This is okay. This is acceptable. So here you can see 4 different categories where the Kapisi can put in power, which she has, these particular power points. However, she is limited by the heat capacity that is dependent on external environment. So the hotter it gets, the fewer...
One of our turrets is taking fire.
Oh dear. Let's keep harvesting, let's keep harvesting. The less power we can use for our abilities. So right now, let's crank up the Kapisis. Oh, the Kapisi is too hot to have her turrets
Be advised,
and her
are stabilizing.
range systems at level 3 each. So let's instead throw it to repair.
Armor systems in
And we are not overheating yet. Yeah, we are overheating. If you overheat the Kapisi, she will slowly take damage.
System heat levels are stabilizing.
Humid heat is the worst. Humidity makes the air thick. Yes, it does. Does an IRL sauna count? It's not actually hot in there. Oh, IR sauna. I apologize. Well, if it's still hot, it's hot. I'm not going to make any judgments based on your experience with humidity or lack thereof. Death Valley, a fun road trip, I imagine. I've used archives of Google Maps, as they call it, in order to go along the highways there. Utterly desolate, but beautiful. Oh, no, Honor Guard Cruiser, pull back, pull back. Alright, we have gotten too cocky.
The turret is under fire. Send orders.
I am not losing my Honor Guard.
Vehicle marked on a
Honor Guard, pull back all the way to the Kapisi.
The Sadim are approaching. Prepare to rendezvous.
Alright, let's see here.
battle cruiser is facing
I should keep some units on cap, unless you got AA. I have been neglecting my aircraft usage. There are no aircraft. Alright. Gunships out.
hostile strike craft.
Fighters out.
Enemy railgun
So,
fire
combat air patrol is rather difficult because aircraft have issues keeping a patrol path in this game. They're mostly meant to be a strike thing. So here are how the craft launch, and I think the simulation is having a freak out. So yeah, this is the Kapisi being a carrier proper. Launching bombers and launching fighters and recovering them. Oh goodness, this is becoming a cluster F. A cluster frick. Protect the resourcing operations. Alright. We have not lost craft, but they are recovering very slowly. Do we have any missile ships? No, these are heavy railguns. What are our cruisers doing? Assault cruisers are taking losses. They are pretty thin-skinned. Artillery cruisers, get back into position. We have lost 1 artillery cruiser at the very least. Use barrage. Okay. Let's begin replacing our losses. Assault cruiser. Alright, now where did the... Nope, we do have all 4 Eclipse-class artillery cruisers. Let's move them into the proper position. Alright, excellent, excellent. Gunship has rearmed one of them at least. Let's send it out immediately to protect these light craft. Fighters, away. Fighters, launch. Alright, let's see what upgrades we have. Support cruiser EMP rounds, yes. Artillery cruiser recharge. And let's do the railgun reload. We still have 4 minutes till the Sadim arrive. We have another assault cruiser. Honor Guard has recovered. Let's put it back into formation. I am not in the condition to do any micro, so I will put all of these cruisers into Group 5. That is much simpler now. Right, we have almost harvested the resources here. I am not going to bother with these, I think, unless I want to move my entire force south to this end of the Kashar Plateau. Let's see if we have any tactical bombers available. TAC bombers, launch.
Bomber to launch deck.
Fighters, launch. Gunships, launch. Let's just get everything up in the air. Every bird we have. Heavy turret is still intact. I really wish Rachel was around. She is a good repair unit. Let's move these assault railguns closer. Knock him out, knock him out. Right, harvesting complete. We can move our entire operation to the next resource position. Forces advance. Actually, light guard, heavy guard. Hold up the rear. Right, resourcers are moving away. Our remaining light forces can bring up the rear. I think this will be acceptable. Let's deploy some turrets using our base runners so that we have something to hold the position. Base runners are utility units, but they require a significant bit of macro. Let's take a look if the Kapisi has any strike craft ready for launch. We are losing strike craft. Gunship is ready. Let's launch the gunship to pull up the rear. Resourcers, are you moving? No. Resourcers, begin harvesting. I want those for the next scenario. Alright. Kapisi is not able to help nearly as much due to her overheating. Let's begin aircraft production. Bombers. Alright. Light craft, bring up the rear. Alright, let's move the light craft to the next position. Our heavy ships will protect the rear. This is where most of the Galcian attack is coming from. Support cruisers up front, soaking damage. Let's move the remainder of our cruisers here. We have more population capacity, which I think I will not be using yet. There's no reason. Honor guard, honor guard! Repair cruisers. Battle cruisers, go indirect. You are go for indirect. Indirect fire is a special ability for the battle cruiser, which allows them to shoot over obstacles, which we had due to line of fire being blocked by the Kashar Plateau itself. Base runners are moving back. Our forces here are taking fire. Let's launch some gunships and let's launch fighters to cover our light craft. Bombers, launch. Everything should be airborne. Let's rebuild our gunship. This is getting a little bit frantic. I'm really enjoying this scenario. Alright, heavy vessels, pull back. Let's plug up this gap. The Sadim can come in and handle the rest. We only need to hang on for 30 more seconds. And unless the enemy has more honor guards, I think we will be okay here. Keep harvesting, keep harvesting. I want those CUs and RUs. Excellent. Gunship is handling the situation. This lovely autocannon equipped craft. I think we're clear.
Hostile armor eliminated. All 3 landers on long-range sensors.
Here they are.
Kapisi, this is Sadim Lander 29 Echo requesting clearance to land. Copy 29. You are clear to land. Understood. The Sakala has arrived. Looks like they coordinated their arrival.
What a massive craft. Stunning. Please don't shoot the landers, we need them.
For our Sujet landers. It's gonna be touch and go.
These nozzles on the rear are the engines. You don't see a biplane flying wing that often. Indeed not. The biplane was there were some jet-propelled biplanes in the late 20th century, but they weren't very popular. It is a giant aircraft for carrying supplies and just all sorts of equipment. Oh yes, it definitely reminds of the Ace Combat series. That is one thing I unfortunately have not had much experience with, is Ace Combat. Alright, so we need to defend the Kashar Plateau and destroy Galcian anti-aircraft squads, which are here in the galleries of the plateau. So I think the Kapisi combined with the Lightcraft should be able to protect my resourcing operation here. And the Spacial will hopefully be assisting. Let's take a look at this lander. It's dark because it's in fog of war, but boy is it a beautiful machine. Look at that. It's almost the size of the Kapisi, although a lot less dense. And these lighting effects, they are beautiful. So you want to play Ace Combat at some point? One day, I think. I definitely enjoy air simulations, but first I would like to get through free space, both 1 and 2, before I handle another simulation. So for anyone with experience with Ace Combat, what game would you recommend to start off on? This is also assuming that anything that is not available on PC I will be forced to emulate in some means, as I do not have access to the simulation blueprints of a PlayStation 2.
An RU site has been depleted.
Ace Combat is arcadish, but from at least my understanding, but so is Free Space. If I want a simulation of a flight of space combat, I would play Independence War 1 or 2, or I would play Children of a Dead Earth, which I would like to do as a one-off at some point soon, once I get a swing of the orbital mechanics again. Let's use these cruisers to good effect.
Target set.
PC, you can handle this, I think. We are doing okay here.
Support ready. Set new heading.
Kapisi, we have more population. Why don't you build me another assault cruiser? Build me 2 more assault cruisers.
Cruiser ready.
Destroy these.
Galcian anti-air squad destroyed.
Alright, 1 squad is down due to artillery. Honestly, if you can get Ace Combat 4 to work, start with that.
Railgun firing on friendly.
You know, thank you for pointing that out. I was blanking on it, but Ace Combat 4 is definitely the one that caught me the most, due to the, I forget the particular term, but the megalith machines that you have to fight in that. I love the aesthetics of the Spirit of the Motherwell, and also that name absolutely gives me chills every time I hear it.
Target set.
Spirit of the Motherwell.
Disabled. Bearing target.
But yes, that would be an interesting game to play, although I'm not sure my reflexes are up to the challenge. But a challenge is good.
Cruiser ready for assignment.
Alert, alert. Carrier taking fire. Hostile armor incoming.
Yes, the naming is fantastic. They absolutely put the right amount of thought into that. Alright, the assault cruiser is helping us hold off here. Where is the second AA squad?
CU field expended.
I lack the information. I need to know where the AA squad is. Let's get them. They're in one of the galleries
Roll out.
of the plateau.
Hostile railguns have opened up.
Keep the team together. Keep the team together. Do not separate the cruisers.
Enemy contacts on the board. Hostile
Oh, this assault cruiser is taking AA fire. I believe this is self-repair, this blue this blue lightning. Yes, if you look in the lower left, the hull of the assault cruiser is rapidly regenerating, so I was incorrect. Just like all of the Galcian chassis, the assault cruiser being derived from that, in spite of being a coalition design, is self-repairing. What kind of upgrades do we have left? Let's improve railgun damage and our artillery cruiser rechargeability and support cruiser self-repair. That is fantastic. Having the support cruiser, which normally you need a pair of to self-repair, so that they could, you know, top themselves off, that is an excellent ability. Although, honestly, it is a little late in the campaign for that. It would have been much nicer if it was earlier. Although that would be broken at that point. PC's hanging in there. Let's actually build another support cruiser. I think we are missing that in our forces. Alright, support cruiser self-repair. Alright, let's rip apart the AA squad. Attack move for the cruiser group. Excellent. Yeah, the artillery cruisers do not lead worth a damn. Alright, attack move into the gallery. Sakala, what are you doing? What are you waiting for?
Research completed.
Support cruiser under attack.
You Sedim dogs, get in the fight! This might be revenge for me not really assisting the Sakala in any way during the Whispering Gallery combat. I thought they could do it on their own, and they did. Also, I didn't want to take any extra casualties. Not for the Sedim, I would not do that. Protect the artillery cruisers. How many do we have left? No, we have not lost any. Assault railguns. Enemy railguns. They did not even get to let off a single volley.
Green line confirmed.
Cruiser force, move in.
Displacing now.
How are we doing here?
Hostile strike craft down.
Support cruiser, pull back.
Push through. Tracking target.
Assault cruiser, protect the support cruiser.
Attack vehicle visually authentic.
Let's see here. Artillery cruiser, ability recharge. Let's improve that.
Hostile range craft destroyed.
Okay.
Hostile armor and
This is a bit of metagaming, but while we don't have Rachel in this scenario, we will later. So let's get all of these upgrades while we can. Actually, in light of that, let's actually not destroy all of the Galcian yet. I want these upgrades for the next scenario, and we have plenty of resources to go around. So while we have a fairly secure situation, let's build a second assault cruiser. Actually, let's also rebuild our light attack forces. Let's build 8 or so. Let's build some railguns. And we've reached fleet capacity. Unfortunately, I have overdone the fleet capacity. Let me cancel a railgun so we can build more fighters. Okay, let's continue the upgrades. AV armor. How are our cruisers doing? Oh, looks like the anti-air assault squad is about to be ripped apart no matter what. So this is a Galcian siege cruiser. It is equivalent to the siege cruiser of the Coalition. But there was only one of them. Alright, let's pull back, let's pull back.
Contact. Enemy armor. Bearing designated.
Alright, Kapisi, what other upgrades can we do here? AAV damage. Let's get all these important upgrades before the scenario continues. Cruisers, keep moving, keep moving. Alright.
Enemy light attack vehicle marked on approach. Hostiles designated. Trackers assigned.
Excellent. Alright, now that we have this second repair craft, second support cruiser that can self-repair, we are in a very good place.
Armored assault modifications carried out.
Alright, let's have the Kapisi send all spawned units behind it so that they're safer.
Receiving. Coordinates.
Alright, and railguns move here. How many railguns do we have in general? Only 2. That is very poor.
Ready.
Okay.
Enemy
Hanging in there, hanging in there.
Reading.
Let's see. Last set of upgrades. Base runner.
Hostile interceptor down.
Let's go with burst modulation. That will make the LAVs much more efficient at busting railguns at range. So normally the LAV is used to intercept railguns as a hard counter, because the LAV is very fast, and it is difficult for railguns to hit such a small maneuverable target,
Alert. Friendly
especially due to their turret speed. So the railgun uses this ability, R, the boost, and now it can also use burst modulation to both get close to the enemy railguns, and then also increase its firepower as it swarms them. So it's a pretty good combination if you use it correctly. Now I've been neglecting my aircraft. Let's put them back into circulation.
strike systems
There we
online.
go.
Ready to burn.
And for some reason these fighter craft have been circling for a while, unable to land.
Hostile light attack vehicle detected.
Let's have them dock. I think they glitched out a little there.
Heading back to hangar. Hostile armor eliminated.
So the Galcian essentially cannot fight us.
Vehicle enhancements online.
They are sending out strike craft where we have cruisers blocking their way.
Make ready.
Okay, I think these are about all of the upgrades I really care about.
Engage and destroy. Hostile
Oh,
railgun
since we have a
over
bunch of
down.
missile batteries, let's up their mortar payload. Alright,
For command.
let's destroy the Galcian anti-air
Enemy
squad
railgun eliminated.
and
Hostile
finish this
underway.
scenario. There is a Galcian production cruiser here, I believe. Let's see if I have any base runners left intact. I do.
Rudder copy.
Let's scout this out. Alright, scout away. Let's take a look at our feedback here. And they had AA guns. How did they do that? Those are sand
Hostile
skimmers.
strike fighter in circulation.
Fighters, fighters. Let's see what happens.
Hostile strike craft down.
Okay, they could not withstand how many missile batteries we had.
Hostile interceptor destroyed.
Your favorite title for some reason is Ace Combat Zero, the Balkan War.
Report on that position.
Is that your favorite due to the content, or literally the title, or the gameplay, or perhaps the plot, or just the combination of all of those factors in the correct package? Oh, literally the title. Okay, okay. Yeah, the Balkan is a great sounding word, I think.
Hostile on
Apologies, I misunderstood the wording there. That is one of my many talents, misunderstanding wording.
armor incoming.
I am a champion at least misunderstanding wording, and perhaps
Unidentified contact. Designated hostile.
and also forgetting what I'm good at.
Both Galcian AA
There we go, we got him.
been neutralized.
Mission complete. We don't have to get them next time. And the plateau has been defended.
Green line. Landers requesting clearance.
Oh, here come our landers.
Coming in hot.
I hope the Sadim lander has left the runway.
The Sakala is broadcasting on an open channel.
To our coalition brothers and sisters, you have inflicted great devastation upon the Galcian scum. For that, we applaud your bravery. We will not forget your sacrifice. But our time of ascension is at hand. Only the Sadim and our Kithsa are of divine origin. Only we can claim the bounty that lies at the heart of this desert. The first city and its secrets belong to us, and us alone.
Scramble all emergency crews immediately.
The Sadim have betrayed us.
Personal log, Captain Roman Sajet, Expedition Carrier Kapisi. My instincts were right. The Sidim have betrayed us. They say self-righteousness inevitably leads to treachery, that it's an affliction of the weak-minded. I agree. Mashad will pay for what he has done, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it. Thankfully, we're able to retrieve supplies from one of the landers, allowing us to carry on. But Rachel is out there now, alone. I won't let her become another victim of this treachery.
Well, incident report. Sidim have betrayed the Coalition. Lander 05B lost to Sidim fire. No survivors. We recovered some supplies, fuel and water from 05C. The Sidim and that mad dog Mashad will pay. They've shown themselves to be no better than the creatures that inhabit this forsaken desert. And soon they will join them, their bones ground into the sands. I will personally crush the remains of the Sakala with the Kapisi's treads. And now they're after Rachel. I would consider this one of the more stinging betrayals in a game that I have experienced. Let's show the Sidim what vengeance really means. Torin Crater, where Rachel has been examining a secondary anomaly. This is what her brother Jacob informed her about.
What is your status?
Intel. The ID transponder signal originated from a wreck. A military capital ship that seems to be named Tidan. The Tidan deployed the orbital weapon, then suffered the same fate as the other wrecks, crashing to the surface before the weapon could be enabled. Escaping the Gaussian base, Jacob crossed the wastelands and located the Tidan, coupled with a transponder hidden aboard this ship. He used the trigger to arm the weapon, but without adequate food, water, or protection, he died here, alone.
We're coming for you, Rachel. Hold out until we get there.
Understood, Intel. Science team standing by.
Alright, let's rescue Rachel. The Sidim have a head start. They didn't have to recover their dead. If any of you have played the sequels, this emblem may be familiar to you.
Kapisi, do you copy? Come in, over.
Look at that beautiful terrain. One of the best renditions of a crater I have seen in a game to date.
Come in.
Ah, Sidim! Armored attack craft.
Kapisi,
And
do you
LAVs.
copy? Come in, over.
We read you, Rachel. We have you on long-range scanners. We are close. Be advised, the Sidim have betrayed us. They're closing on your position. You are in imminent danger. Do you copy?
Roger that.
Rachel is located here. Sidim units are attempting to capture her and seize the wreck. Defend Rachel until the Kapisi arrives.
Okay.
Just when we were getting comfortable.
All we need to do is hang on. Let's see, we have a base runner and we have some resources, so we can drop down a number of turret emplacements. Let's do that while we have the opportunity.
This is Rachel. Go ahead. Science officer en route.
So we have 2 railguns, 3 armored attack craft, and 4 LAVs. This is not a whole heck of a lot. Alright, 1 turret down.
Go ahead.
We have the resources for a second, I believe.
Go ahead.
We just need to recover.
Coordinates verified.
Railguns opening up. Let's move the AAVs. Actually, let's move Rachel, surprisingly, because she's well armored.
Take up guard on that vehicle.
Move out and be ready.
Hostile armor eliminated.
The railguns are a direct counter to enemy armored attack craft, because they have an armor reduction ability every time the railgun strikes. Whereas the armored attack vehicle is a direct counter to light attack vehicles, because the rapid-fire guns can handle the speed of a light attack vehicle. So it's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors situation. And Rachel is doing a splendid job of repairing her allies right now. Let's add the second turret here. Rachel, pull back, pull back. Come on, pull back. More armored attack craft. As long as our AAVs are the ones taking the brunt of the fire, because they have more armor than the railguns, we should be able to handle this. And now we have the turrets opening up, luckily. Base runner, assist. Excellent. We're holding out, we're holding out. Reposition. Move the railguns away. This railgun, we need to do a little bit of micro right now. Rachel, repair that railgun.
One of our turrets is taking fire.
Okay, good. Rachel is handling all of this.
Contact. Enemy armor. Bearing designated.
Rachel, be advised. The Sakala is
Oh, it's Sakala's inbound.
will arrive before us.
We do not have enough resources for another turret, unfortunately.
Standing by.
So let's see. 5 armored assault craft, 5 more. 10 total at once. We may take casualties on this one. Railgun, pull back. Let the AAVs handle this. Even the base runner is better. It's useless at this point. Alright, alright, right. No. Railgun, pull back, pull back.
Support ready.
Sensors post under fire.
Ah, a little bit of collision going on here.
Alert. Sensor post destroyed.
Armor attack craft, go in, boost, and burst.
Railgun is taking effective fire.
Any amount of damage will help now, even if it's not particularly effective against their armor.
Eliminate.
Not very good alpha damage on the light attack vehicles, no matter how you slice it. But we're holding pretty well, thanks to Rachel's repair beam.
Location marked.
And her upgrades to her repair beam.
Strike responding.
Alright, let's move these light attack craft back. Where is the Sakala? What is this?
Detected subject.
Oh.
Can you confirm visual?
Reposition.
Guard set on up. Moving to guard position.
Base runner, move forward.
Form up on Rachel. She is your top priority.
Attack. Boost. They have their own light attack vehicles.
The turret post just went down.
We lost the turret. Holding in there, holding in there. Come on, Kapisi.
Enemy armor disabled.
Hang in there.
Be advised.
Okay, we are safe for the moment. Sakala! Of course they're launching aircraft.
Intel, the Sakala has arrived.
Rachel's strike force is outmatched. She must disengage and rendezvous with the Kapisi at once. Ensure Officer Sajet and her team make it safely to the Kapisi.
Alright.
Be advised. Tracking hostile.
So Rachel should be safe. She is much faster than the Sakala's forces. Unless they are sending out an incredible amount of LAVs. Which they are not. AAVs, protect Rachel.
Taking fire.
The railguns are just as slow as her. And we had a turret to distract them. So we should be able to make it to the rendezvous point with the Kapisi without taking serious losses. Which would be nice.
Alert. Turret post destroyed. Alert.
Alright, AAVs, where are you?
Fire.
Armor ready.
AAVs, handle this threat. Swing around and protect that base runner. There we go.
New heading set.
Continue the escort for Rachel.
Escort formation.
Sakala is going to take the Tidon wreck. However, the Sakala's captain is too much of a dog to understand what he's claiming here.
Enemy armor on approach.
He is a righteous, pompous bastard.
Standing by. Move with
Ugh.
your LAV.
Sadim. This was a long time coming. Oh, you can see the trail going all the way from Rachel's base runner all the way to the wreck of the Tidon.
Rachel, we are closing in on the rendezvous point now.
Okay.
Copy that.
Kapisi is almost here. We should be okay. Let's take a look at some of the resources that we will want to salvage. There is an artifact bulkhead, or possible artifacts at these 3 wreckage bulkheads. So, we can actually...
Rachel, go ahead.
No, we shouldn't begin harvesting beforehand. I want this rim to be the first, because it's very small. And I want it out of my mind.
Hostile AA turret.
I am going to assume that in this situation, having the resources near the Kapisi will not be good, because the Sakala is very trigger happy with its cruise missiles. Ha ha ha! She crests the hill. She's not looking good.
We have Rachel in sight. Reducing speed. Be advised, the Kapisi has been operating in the red for hours and she's overheating.
Oh no. PC's in bad shape.
Has taken damage from overheating the drive systems. Our cruisers are trailing behind, but will arrive soon.
Intel, I've recovered the transponder and trigger artifact from the Tidon wreck. My scan of the area has identified an advanced cooling system in one of the nearby wreck sites.
Roger that. Salvaging that artifact is now our main priority.
You do have to give the Kapisi some serious respect or props, because this city block managed to beat cruisers to this site, going as fast as these light attack craft and all of that, or at least keeping pace with them. So Kapisi is best girl. You must give her all of your respect. Let's improve our base runner turret range. We may be using turrets this scenario. So we are overpopulated. All right, let's begin the harvesting operations. So no. First, we will prioritize this wreck because the Kapisi right now cannot activate any abilities. She is almost defenseless. One more power point and poor Kapisi-chan will overheat. All right. Let's move everybody to defend the Kapisi. Our resources are with us. Ah, strike fighters. Kapisi, hang in there, old girl.
The object that your science officer has seized. Relinquish it, and you may continue to live on this planet after our ascension.
You can demand this.
The only sound I want to hear from the Scala is their hull exploding.
Yes, Captain Roman Sajet, that is the sound I want to hear. Nothing but grinding metal and screaming souls.
The Sakala is preparing to launch a cruise missile.
I have inordinate respect for Captain Roman Sajet.
Op ready. New heading set.
I think he is almost as badass as Captain Soban from Homeworld 2.
Make ready.
Oh Mao, I'm feeling a little bloodthirsty. Betrayal
Green line confirmed.
and killing, and the killing of our kith.
Attention. Our cruisers have arrived and are awaiting orders.
Yes! Now the Sadim will know what true pain feels like.
Set new heading.
You don't know the whirlwind you're about to reap.
Fire on any hostile.
Mashad, I'm coming for you. Alright, resourcers. Where is my production cruiser?
Confirmed. Tracking armored craft on approach.
Production cruiser, I'm gonna need you here. Did I lose it in the last scenario? No, I did not. PC is under attack. Ah, poor Kapisi. Attack, attack, attack. Kapisi is defenseless right now. We need to get her up and running. Resourcers, move closer. Rachel, prepare demo charges. Kapisi is not doing well. After that, repair the Kapisi. We have fighters, though. Launch, launch, launch. Air groups away. Gunships. Tactical bombers. Launch.
launch deck.
Bomber set.
No fight, no pilot is getting any downtime until the Sakala is nothing but scrap.
Enemy railgun eliminated.
The Galcian, I understand. They know no better. But the Sidim,
Acknowledged.
Enemy armor.
they're going to know death.
Move with caution. We have hostiles on the board.
Alright, how are air groups doing?
Reposition.
Air group, figure out what's going on there.
Bomber ready. New heading.
Attack bombers. First strike.
Copy.
Cruisers will hold that. Let's pop this wreck.
Designated. Trackers assigned.
Yeah, Rachel, repair them. No, Rachel, get the coolant artifact.
Coolant artifact extracted.
Salvagers, begin salvage operations.
Ready. Stand.
This coolant artifact should be able to help us significantly.
Artifact recovered. Authentication confirmed.
Base runner, increased turret hull.
Enemy fire.
This should be a helpful upgrade later on.
Exhausted.
Rachel, where are you headed?
Port ready.
Air launch detected from the Sakala.
Sakala is Inviscid cooling system.
Coolant
This is our new artifact.
received. Engineering reports installation in progress.
We can now focus on the Sidim. They cannot be allowed to acquire the Tidan transponder.
Absolutely not.
Destroy the Sakala.
With pleasure.
We're in circulation.
Oh, artillery.
Alert.
Or
Light
bombers.
attack vehicle destroyed. Light attack vehicle is
LAVs,
under
pull
fire.
back, pull back, pull back.
Coordinates confirmed.
Ready.
Right, Rachel. Okay, the salvagers are repaired. Let's move our production cruiser here.
Sakala launching cruise missile.
Wait, oh, they're going for my cruisers. Pull back, pull back, pull back.
Unknown inbound. Designating hostile.
Okay, we're gonna have to keep our cruisers moving because they are the most valuable thing we have. Come on, you sluggards. Move, 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 move.
Field depleted.
I don't know if our...
Artillery cruiser under attack. Units respond. Alert.
We
Artillery
lost
cruiser
2
destroyed.
artillery cruisers. We lost
Hostile armor eliminated.
just 2 artillery cruisers. Okay, we can replace those losses.
CU field expended.
Alright, so the Sidim are really trying to piss me off. And I'm still over fleet capacity. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Alright, Kapisi, what kind of upgrades can we give you? Let's crank up the power. So now our little blue bar here is at the maximum possible. And with the temperature, we should be able to actually have incredible range.
Levels are spiking. Reroute power to
No, we're overheating now. Okay. Kapisi is a potent war machine right now. Let's move her forward to draw the Sakala's fire. She can tank it, our artillery cruisers cannot. Kapisi, was there a cruiser? No, we did not have a cruiser launch. Alright, let's improve missile battery damage, because that will increase their ability to intercept incoming fighters. Right.
This is Rachel. Go ahead.
Here we go. Let's maneuver our light forces into position. They will escort the Kapisi.
Underway. Screen's clear. New information is coming in. Reporting.
Cruisers, Group 5.
Group 5 assigned.
Enemy airstrike inbound.
So we lost a repair vessel and 2 artillery cruisers.
Salvager has been engaged.
This, I suppose,
Alert.
is acceptable
Salvager
losses.
destroyed. Enemy
Let's
armor
secure the
approaching.
secondary resource site.
This is the captain.
Now that the Kapisi is armed for bear,
Designated. Move
we can handle this choke point here. And our light forces can be rear guard for the Kapisi and the harvesting operations.
Hostile on sensors. Authentication
New
pending.
coordinates verified.
The time for building up our forces is over. Support cruiser and potentially an artillery cruiser.
Hostile alert.
Leave none standing.
Cruisers is approaching our flank.
Let's use the EMP shell ability to disable this artillery cruiser. And let's keep doing upgrades.
Immediate fire support on that position.
And... Alright, they have no more artillery.
Destroyed.
At least for the time being.
Alert. Carrier taking fire. Targeting alert. Carrier hull at 75% integrity.
PC, what are you dealing with?
Crew ready.
Battle cruisers. This is enough of a threat that I am willing to fire off a cruise missile at close range.
Battle report. Enemy cruiser destroyed. We've got a salvager under fire. Red alert. Target carrier hull at 25.
Fire the cruise missile! We are taking too much hull damage.
Need support.
Come on, come on, come on. We do not want to restart this. Oh, the blast radius was so intense, I friendly fired the Kapisi. Alright, let's load. We should be at a checkpoint. I got a little too aggressive there. So. Kapisi-chan did get a little too cocky, but that was under my direction. Friendly fire is never friendly, Hoshi. It's never friendly. Alright, let's hope we have that checkpoint back when Rachel joined us. This game goes so smoothly, and I forget to use the save system. That is until... Let's see. Oh no, this is the save point after we acquired the artifact. So let's power up the Kapisi once again.
Weapon range systems currently active.
Give her proper range upgrades.
We got something on the horizon. Waiting for eyes on to within.
Missile target, move.
Reroute power to
Come on.
Damage. CU deposit depleted.
Alright. Resourcers. Harvesting. Light units, let's begin formation. Let's pull back the LAV so they don't get artilleried by an errant Eclipse cruiser. Rachel, you will join the light forces. Alright, excellent. Kapisi now has the range for this. Kapisi, move to this berm. We're gonna take a much slower approach here, but since this berm will protect us from some of the heavier forces, what have we lost this time around? Heavy cruisers have taken damage. We still have... We only lost one artillery cruiser this time around, which is more acceptable. And the honor guard is intact, because it is the fastest. Okay, let's keep on our toes here. Let's intercept this force that's incoming. Kapisi is on the move. Harvesting is ongoing.
An RU site has been exhausted of resources.
Alright, I am done microing. We're going to make everything but this group with everything but Rachel into Command Group 1. Alright, Rachel, you can join us too. Let's actually begin preparing for the next harvesting operation. Then Rachel can fall back. Let's see, who is this armored attack craft? I also made a blunder of not launching a bomber immediately from the Kapisi. What kind of cruisers do we have here? Support and artillery as before. Battle cruisers, engage in direct fire so we can simply get rid of them as soon as possible. So these dunes technically make certain engagements indirect, and that's where artillery cruisers are very powerful. But this is where battle cruisers have a timed ability for 20 seconds they can shoot over hills and the like, which is very helpful. Alright, here we have the cruisers coming in. All launch air, bombers. Let's launch our cruise missile early this time. And we're launching fighters. Alright, here we go. Okay, well, that was actually overkill. We got them. Kapisi has taken damage. What is this harvester doing? There's plenty of resources to collect over there. Please return. Rachel, please repair the Kapisi. Excellent. Clear the area. We are blasting this bulkhead. Air group, attack this force. Let's see if there's any missile batteries. There are, but we have the range and speed and armor. Maybe we don't. Okay, that bomber escaped unscathed. Or, alive. Intact. Resources, please focus on something more important. Come on. Collect that. Alright, let's blow this bulkhead. Excellent. No artifact. That's fine. Rachel, let's see if the next bulkhead has an artifact.
The Sakala is deploying cruisers.
That's fine, we have our own cruisers.
Cruiser ready.
Okay, this harvesting operation needs to move back. The Kapisi now has sufficient range that it can essentially outdistance any weapon in the game.
Hostile Hostile strike craft down.
RU site exhausted.
Alright.
Salvager ready.
Harvest this zone, please.
Hostile armor.
Production cruiser, assist with that.
Standing by.
Alright, Rachel, this is a little risky, but we're gonna do it.
Reading you.
And then, Rachel, you will move to the next wreck site here and deploy 4 more charges.
Reading you.
And then move back to the Kapisi.
Move out and be ready.
Okay. Let's not let the bloodlust get to our heads. Let's pull the cruisers back to the area of engagement in case the enemy cruisers are there. Let's use recon probes
Reading you, Command.
to see what these pings are in the crater base.
Air launch detected from the Sakala.
Sakala is launching fighters. What are these resourcers doing?
Mobilizing. Displace to that CU field.
Resourcers, please. Resourcer chama. Right, our probe is about to reveal something or other. Rachel has placed charges, we won't blow them. Fighters inbound. See how the Kapisi handles this. Good, good.
Hostile interceptor down.
The interceptor stood no chance. There's not a lot actually moving around here in the desert.
Hostile turret.
There's the cruisers. We will continue using air power to destroy the enemy cruisers.
Salvager ready. Advance to mark.
Again, this is a matter of simply building up our resources. Alright, let's move this production cruiser closer to the actual resources we're collecting. Do we have any more upgrades? Let's just finish off the remaining upgrades.
Ready for command.
Okay, we are still overpopulation, so we can't build another replacement artillery cruiser for our formation. Let's save. Let's call it, use the date timestamp, because timestamps are fun. Let's see here. Today is the... Yes, okay. Excellent. Alright, resourcing is ongoing.
Make ready.
If only I could use this remaining 6 power on the Kapisi. Just dump it all into firepower. Okay, that harvesting is complete. We can begin operations at this section. Once we've cleaned up all of the resources along the rim. So we can move our cruisers here so that we can protect this particular resourcing operation. What is attacking Rachel? Oh no, Rachel is just engaged. No artifact. That would have been rather nice. All right. Let's see here. Let's finish off our upgrades. I am tempted to simply rush it. I already have quite the amount of resources. If I need to replace cruisers, I should be able to do it several times over, although my limit is always with CUs, or RUs rather than CUs, the blue resource type, which is the more advanced and rare materials that are needed in the construction of these rather large craft. For all of the bluster the Sakala had with deploying cruisers, I don't feel it. Although that may be a little bit cocky of me. Okay, resourcing is ongoing. Let's maneuver the production cruiser to the center of the harvesting operation. Oh, okay. A moment of calm again. Excellent, excellent.
Runner, go ahead. New coordinates verified.
So wingmates, if you've seen RTS games played before, or played any yourself, how do you think Homeworld Deserts of Karak compares in terms of the gameplay style? I know that the base mechanic is very much in style for Homeworld, having a mobile base. But I think a lot of this is different from what is expected of... Oh good, we're ripping apart the aircraft. What is typically anticipated of an RTS. Some might call this more of a tactics game. Yeah, the mobility is rather strange, but building structures in the desert is also difficult. The base runners do have the ability to deploy turrets, but that's about the closest thing we have to structures. Also being able to... This is one of the few games where something like a carrier or a mothership is truly capable. Usually your primary production structure has some kind of oddity about it, but in this case... Oh, we are in combat. We are engaged. Yeah, they don't stand a chance.
Enemy railgun eliminated.
Now I need to move a repair cruiser to those forces. Oh, the Kapisi moved away. Kapisi, move back.
Move out.
We can move one of our repair cruisers to protect the light force. Right. These resource sites are now secure. Since they are the furthest out and they irritate me the most, let's actually harvest it first. So production cruiser can move in between these sites. These resource collectors can move here. And these can begin collection here. The PC can pull back to the sites. And let's block off this pass and potentially recover the artifact. Let's blow this. We don't know if there's an artifact there.
This is Rachel. Go ahead.
Let's move our light forces to block this position. Heavy forces can move to block this pathway. Yeah, the competitive scene for, or as much as there is a competitive / tournament scene of Deserts of Karak, is incredibly focused on mobility and micro. It is definitely a strange formula for a game. Economics is very important, especially your build order in the beginning. The closest game I can think of is Ground Control. Oh, so why not? If I recall, Ground Control has a, it has some kind of limiting factor on how many troops you can have, or something like that. I recall there was something odd about it, that it wasn't like traditional in the way an RTS has, you know, units coming out of buildings and the like. Right, Rachel is repairing on light forces. So there was no artifact. That was the only one we were going to get on this map, but we are getting good resources. So I see no point... okay. So Sakala is not using cruise missiles at least. Let's begin... Let's fire off an airstrike at whatever's here. Oh, I launched bombers accidentally.
Ready for launch.
Let's use strike fighters.
Alert. Hostile strike fighter in circulation.
Oh. Yeah, we lost an armored assault.
CU field depleted.
We've taken out an enemy turret. Tracking armored craft.
So they have nothing but turrets deployed out here. Ooh, lost the bomber.
Combat alert. Bomber destroyed.
What is this bomber doing? Come on, bomber, get out of the... Yes, these are AA turrets. Right, that bomber survived at least. And build a strike bomber. And we lost a single fighter. And we do not have the fleet capacity to rebuild that, unfortunately. We are at capacity. Okay, salvage operations are ongoing.
Ready for sortie.
Alright. I think we can get a little more aggressive. Kapisi can move in here.
Cruiser ready.
The support cruiser will also provide anti-aircraft fire, so we can move it to the expected direction.
Green line confirmed.
Probably not, but I meant the overall field. Oh, I see, okay. So kind of like the mobility and tactical nature of the game. Oh, so we're on high ground, which means we have an advantage, but let's still use our EMP shell from the artillery cruisers to disable the incoming forces.
Hostile armor, eliminate.
Hopefully that, nope, we hit right in the middle of these two forces. I'm surprised they're not sending battlecruisers this direction. Right, we're gonna have to take out that cruiser down there.
Battle report. Enemy cruiser destroyed.
What's Kapisi encountering? Light craft. Let's launch a gunship.
Gunship clear for launch.
Gunship online, ready for launch. Hostile
Excellent. You know what? Let's overheat the Kapisi a little and upgrade the fire.
Alert all units. The Sakala is preparing to launch a cruise missile.
Where is the cruise missile?
Carrier remains in orbit.
Alright, cruisers are going down the hill, since they already have velocity in that direction. Salvagers, just keep harvesting.
Advance to mark CUs.
How's Kapisi doing? She did her job. Let's stop the overheat.
Be advised. System heat levels
Support
are
cruiser,
stable.
repair Kapisi.
Protocols in effect. A hostile turret
Where
has
is
been
that
destroyed.
missile?
Green line confirmed.
Have we escaped it? I believe we have escaped the cruise missile successfully this time around.
Place to that CU field.
Right, where are my salvagers?
RU coordinates acquired. Moving the site.
Alright, we are now in the crater. It's clear that Sakala does not have good control over this.
Visual. Reading.
CUs exhausted.
I have plenty of CUs. Let's just blindly fire off a cruise missile. No.
Salvager ready.
Base runners, let's get some scouting going on here.
Reporting. Reading you.
There we go. Drones deployed. The PC is under repair.
Ready.
Let's move Rachel to the front.
New coordinates verified.
Alright.
Ready for orders.
Harvesting complete there. Let's move on to this site.
CUs. Hostile AA turret detected. Coordinates set. Enemy armor on approach. Ready. Copy.
Support cruiser wants to move back.
Air launch
Okay.
detected from the Sakala.
Going mobile.
Sakala's doing another fighter run. What is this
Go
cruiser
ahead.
doing?
Get this cruiser. Enemy airstrike inbound. Green line confirmed. Support cruiser under attack. Immediate fire.
Good thing the support
support
cruisers now have self-repair.
copies. Ready. Attention.
Oh, we can increase the hull durability of the armored attack vehicle. That is a good upgrade. The upgrade order is very surprising, and it's completely different in skirmish. In essence, the way units behave
Reporting.
is quite different in campaign and skirmish. So while it is good training for actually understanding what you're
Armored
doing,
assault modifications carried out.
Make ready.
there's definitely a significant difference.
Ready. Hostile
The
detected.
DLC
Visual confirmed.
expansion, there are two DLC for this game,
Hostile craft
and they essentially add the Sabani faction, which emphasizes railguns, and the big difference is that their carrier has railguns on each corner instead of these machine guns, and that their battlecruisers use railguns too, instead of having these cannons here, these standard ballistic
Research
weapons.
completed.
Ah, no, get out from Assault Cruiser Chan, Battle Cruiser Chan.
Cruiser ready.
Be polite, be polite.
Displace to that CU field.
It's actually quite hilarious how quick these production cruisers are. Its own resourcers that it's been attending to have been rather slow to catch up. Okay,
Reporting.
here we go.
Hostile armor incoming.
Not a threat. That is a battle cruiser. Let's launch some EMP rounds. And we're gonna lead the target. And let's do a barrage, wide area.
Hostile range craft destroyed.
Battle cruisers attack,
Hostile set.
assault cruisers attack,
Eliminate.
and the honor guard cruiser is always attacking.
Hostile strike fighter in circulation. Alert. Assault cruiser destroyed. Targeted fire.
Ah, we lost an assault cruiser.
Cruiser under attack. Immediate
Can we
fire.
rebuild that?
Position. Hostile set. Set. Trackers assigned.
Let's see here. Yes, we can rebuild the assault cruiser. Can we rebuild a fighter? So fighters only take up one population, so they're fairly easy.
Command. Set new
Strike fighter ready for service.
Come on, take out that artillery cruiser already.
Sakala launching cruise missile.
All right,
Caution. We have hostile
Scatter, scatter, scatter. You move here. Battlecruisers might be able to survive a strike, but I doubt they will. Battlecruiser, angle, angle, angle. Hi, Guardian Zet. Jellyfish, bro. I'm doing quite well. I am approaching the end of the... Okay, we escaped that cruise missile. The Homeworld Deserts of Karak campaign. How's Kapisi holding up? She's doing well. Alright, I think that's it. We're gonna give the Spacial what she's long overdue for. How are you doing, Guardian? Kapisi, let's fire off some cruise missiles. I'm tired of fighting these. Cruise missile inbound. Let's take a look at that beautiful blast on this lone artillery cruiser. Yes, no kill, like overkill. Oh yeah, that FFA was... I peeked into it. It was insane. I'm very impressed that that the attendees were able to hold out like that. Alright, let's move our cruiser forces over here. Rachel, protect the Kapisi. Kapisi, go for these. Go for broke. Let's rebuild our gunship.
Battlecruiser is facing resistance. Position mark and message.
Facing resistance. That's a convenient way of saying you're taking damage. Okay, that is repairing. We need to get all these repaired before we begin our full-on attack. So let's regroup here. And we're being artilleried constantly. So we may need to actually pull back a little bit. We'll let the Kapisi take the brunt of that damage. Alright, Kapisi, you have the range for this engagement. Expanded your range even further. At the price of overheating. Oh! Not the best shot you were taking. The Spacial can do whatever it wants. It will not stop its fate. How's harvesting going? Oh, we were nearly wrapped up with this site. Yeah, I don't think these sites are worth it. Right, let's launch our EMP barrage here. We're gonna lose some battle cruisers here, I think. But now that we've EMP'd them, this should be a little bit easier. And now that the Kapisi is joining the fight, even more so. Alright, Kapisi, engage everything. Support cruisers, pull back, pull back, pull back. All cruisers, engage. Kapisi, overheat. And let's crank up the armor on the Kapisi. At the price of overheating. Let's go for this. Light forces, join the fight. Ooh. Kapisi is not doing well. Let's fire off a cruise missile. Everything to armor. Everything to armor. Everything to armor. Ah, no! I forgot the power of a battle cruiser.
The command carrier Kapisi
Alright, let's load. I think we have a recent load.
has been destroyed.
Okay. You know what? This scenario was over a long time ago. I just simply wanted those resources. I was greedy. We are going to rush in and destroy the Kapisi. Ham in the paint, indeed, Guardian. Oh, no matter. Failure is to be expected if you get cocky. Vengeance is a dish best served cold, not hot. I need to remember that. I need to remember that. Okay. Let's stop messing around with these pathetic resource pockets. Let's just get the big blobs. Let's pop these. I know there are no artifacts, and it's not RNG, it's pre-placed.
Line confirmed.
Hello, Cabal! Welcome to the convoy! How are you doing this fine evening? Empty soul. Yep, those battlecruisers kill a lot of carriers in my lifetime. Yeah, I truly underestimate how much damage the battlecruisers do because their gun barrels are so underwhelming. But the moment the shots start landing, it's game over.
Alert all units.
Oh, good to hear that you're doing well. I myself am doing pretty well. A little flustered from my... Oh, no, why did you target the exact point where I'm at? Let's keep that momentum going. Alright, all of you need to stop and turn around. Pull back. You keep going, you pull back, pull reverse. Okay, we did not lose any cruisers this time. Regroup. Empty, you're a fan of Homeworld. Home! 2400 hours! I kneel. I have many hours, but not that many. Oh, an enemy base runner! I have not seen a single one of these before. Bye, base runner. That is actually very durable. All of these cruisers focus firing on it too. Right. Kapisi, go down to the drink. Let's finish off our upgrades. Yeah, I have repeatedly said this during this particular stream, but I am most definitely not playing in the way a professional would. But I'm having a good time. I understand that there's quite a lot of meta, and I've kept up with a little bit of it, but I'm not building it. I'm not doing any kind of meta right now. Let's get that artillery cruiser out of the way. Actually, oh, how's Kapisi doing here? Let's launch gunships and fighters. Let's get those missile ships out of the way. Where are they? No, just railguns, no missile ships. Let's get Rachel to repair the Kapisi. Rachel, here you are. Light force moving forward.
Send message. Copy. Coordinates set. Enemy armor disabled.
Alright. Let's get these other det charges blown. I guess while the battle is ongoing, we'll collect all the resources we can, but I think at this point, it doesn't matter. We have more than enough resources for what we want to do. Let's wait till our strike craft are rearmed before we begin the attack on the Sakala. I keep forgetting that I have air power. This is what battle fatigue does. There's an artillery cruiser. Let's see if I have any tactical bombers on standby to knock that artillery cruiser out.
Enemy armor on approach.
2 artillery cruisers. Let's use our tactical bombers for this operation. Yeah, Empty. You're definitely right about the difference between multiplayer and single player. Especially with the balancing that had to be done.
Our bomber Sakala is deploying cruisers.
Please don't. Ooh.
Combat alert. Bomber lost.
Let's return to base, bomber. I'm not losing another one.
Carrier ready. Send.
They had more forces than I anticipated. That will be okay though. Alright, let's move these light forces in. Kapisi, you can handle those. Right, this resourcing operation is close to completion. Only 94 RU remaining. I will have to return to that shortly. Then we can move on to this. What is the most productive patch here? 400, 400, 600. Air launch, I don't care. Oh, let's stay near these patches. We're closest to them. 3, 2, 1. Moving on. Cruise missile target is the Kapisi. Kapisi is moving away, and Rachel is not a target. These need to move uphill. Kapisi, you don't need that much range. Put it into armor. Let's back away from that blast. Alright, repair immediately. We
Battle report. Enemy cruiser destroyed.
launch bomber. Launch fighters now.
Bomber on deck.
Every fighter we have.
Carrier below 25% integrity.
Get to repairs. Oh no, did I really? Yep, that's why the DoK modders do their own balance patches. Oh, yeah. You pretty much have to.
Has been destroyed.
Okay, I need to stop using the Kapisi like a battering ram. This is the one mission that is showing me that I've failed at that. Okay, I need to do another save once I get that resource patch collected. Ooh. I did not shunt power to armor nearly quick enough. But too busy looking at the resources. No! My carrier just exploded. Let's go! Right, ignore that patch. Move here. Move down. Kapisi, keep researching. Kapisi, move down.
Completed.
Move out. Coordinates confirmed.
Below charges.
Make ready.
PC do upgrades. Cruisers do attack move.
Fire on any hostile. Unidentified hostile incoming.
Okay, I need scouting ahead. My battle cruisers are definitely wasting their potential.
Alert all units. The Sakala is preparing to launch a cruise missile.
Oh,
Ready for command.
what do we got? What do we got? Okay, so halt, begin reverse, you go forward. Yes, you just run forward, keep running, you have that inertia. Move. Stop, pull back. You're a battle cruiser, you should be able to handle this. You pull back, pull forward. Come on, stay out of the... Okay, that survived, good. Alright. Let's save again. We're gonna save scum this one out. Not because I am not capable of doing this in one shot, but because I am taking damage from the duration of these scenarios. Alright, we have a base runner, we don't care. Kapisi, are you okay here? Oh, you were trying to go through the hill.
Exhausted.
Identified Argus site on scanner.
Kapisi, join with the cruisers. Let's launch some strike craft
Strike fighter approach vector
ahead of time.
Enemy support craft under
Hit whatever's there.
hostile turret sighting. Move with caution. We have hostile.
Artillery cruisers need to move up.
Enemy armor.
Pronto.
Roll out. Ready for command.
Attack move.
We've taken out an enemy turret.
Oh, excellent. Our strike fighters will have a target.
CU's exhausted.
Move order confirmed.
And their railguns too.
Strike craft destroyed. Interceptor taking fire. Hostile railguns have opened
Okay,
up.
there's a formation. PC, hang back and use your long-range support. Cruisers form a wall to protect the PC.
CU field.
Let's use our own cruise missile to our advantage.
Hostile armor eliminated. Green line
Alright.
confirmed.
Ah, their fighters are messing me up. Pull back, cruiser.
Go ahead.
Saw cruiser, pull back. You're too darn fast for this formation. Stay with the support cruisers. We need those repairs.
Enemy anti-air
Stuff repair is not enough here.
Heavy artillery loaded. Copy,
Okay.
on our way.
Circle the wagons, circle the wagons.
Message. Copy, coordinates.
Sakala is close.
Captain.
Sakala launching cruise missile.
I'm launching my own cruise missile. Excellent. Very poor targeting on the shot's part.
Battle cruiser
Kapisi, stay away from that blast.
heading set. Ready for command. Move with caution. We have hostiles on
Okay, I think we got a good clip on the Sakala and its forces. Let's see that impact of the
Copy, on our way.
Sadim cruise missile. Where is it? Alright, Kapisi, move to support.
CU field expanded.
Send message.
Right, harvesting is ongoing. Light Force, move to support.
Base runner is en route.
Battle report.
Rachel,
Enemy
move to protect the Kapisi.
reporting.
Intercept the Sakala.
Deposit depleted.
Target on the board.
I don't think they have too many air forces. Tactical bombers, away. Fighters, away.
Hostile armor and
Gunships, launch.
cruiser under attack. Units respond. Copy that. Gunship
Research AAV hull.
ready. Enemy turret detected.
Honor guard, pull back.
Sakala carrier has sustained moderate damage.
Take out the cruisers first. I don't care about the Sakala. Kapisi,
The Sakala is taking heavy damage.
PC, intercept.
All units engage the Spacial full attack from that position.
Ready.
Come on, take out that battle cruiser.
Target.
We've lost it. We lost an assault cruiser.
Push through.
Keep pushing, keep pushing.
Roll out. Combat relay.
Alert all units. The Spacial is preparing to launch a cruise missile.
Location?
Airstrike inbound.
Location?
The Spacial
Oh.
is at critical health.
Support. We've got the Spacial on.
Poor target. Poor choice of targets. Although I think they were trying to kill Rachel.
The hostile turret has been destroyed.
Position.
There we go, there we go.
Full salvo on target.
All
Begin construction of replacement cruiser. I think we will want another battle cruiser. Any aircraft ready? Scramble.
Strike fighter approach vector done.
Alert. Artillery cruiser destroyed.
Scramble the remaining bombers. And we're done. Rotten hell, Mashad.
The Spacial has been destroyed. All units, return to the Kapisi in preparation for immediate departure.
Good riddance, you traitorous bastards. Ooh.
Personal log, operations.
RTS games are rad, but boy am I terrible at them. I feel that I'm not the best either.
Jet was alive this whole time. My God, a prisoner of the Galzian for 4 years, and he stopped them from reaching the Kartoba site. He made the ultimate sacrifice for his people. Now, as we prepare to honor him, we also ready for battle, to finish what we started. I have no idea what the future holds, or if I'll be around to see it. But here, now, I am proud to be among these Sajet, to be counted as one of them, a Soban. It has been an honor to serve with them all.
So the fleet ops officer for the Kapisi is of the Kith Soban, which is a notable warrior Kith, both in this timeline and in the sequels. So her being there was sort of unexpected, because the Kith Sajet is mostly known for its for knowledge rather than for being a warlike Kith. I believe the Sabani were to have their own carrier, but due to the Galcian attack on the northern capital of Tyr, the launch for the other carriers was scrambled, and they were either destroyed or simply unable to leave. I think they were all destroyed. Just work on how to build your base. That's the most important part. Yes, and depending on, like in this game, you don't build your base just moves around. So you need to work on your, I suppose, resource acquisition and construction tactics, all while simultaneously doing micro. So, while it is longer than I usually stream, this is the last scenario, and I feel like I need to honor Jacob Sajet for his sacrifice in keeping the Kahad Sajuk from reaching the anomaly. And for that, I will defeat the Galcian threat. Incident report. Sadim carrier Sakala destroyed. Additional off-world technology secured. Primary anomaly within theater of engagement. Approaching with caution. Let's take a look at ambient temperature. 89 degrees Celsius. The very air outside, not the ground, the very air outside is nearly a boiling point for water. That is brutal. Let's launch. Here we go. Ah, the Kahad Sajuk. Long has he taunted us, but now we will face down the legend himself. But we will have the Taidani weapon on our side, which the Gaussian would never dream of using. Thank you, Jacob, for your sacrifice.
Thanks to the sacrifice of Rachel's brother, we finally hold the key to defeating the Galcian once and for all. The Taidan orbital weapon is operational and under our control. Rachel is making final preparations to ensure the fleet's safety as we secure the Kartoba site.
Power and discharge protocols in the green. Targeting and alignment data is suboptimal. We will require a ground-based scanner network to resolve firing accuracy, or nobody will be safe out there.
The Kartoba site is located here. The Galcian fleet is holding their position outside the targeting perimeter. When they realize we have safely entered the site, they will advance and surround us. We will not have much time. Rachel, stand by to deploy.
Roger that.
Empty Soul. That is what makes Homeworld games great. Although I will say in the campaign for Homeworld 1, you do not, you're not able to move your mothership for all intents and purposes. But otherwise, yes, it's a very mobile game about taking new sites and jumping around. And that is a very powerful ion weapon, although it fires a little differently than the, than what I would expect the ion guns to be like in the Homeworld series. All right, so this.
We must get Rachel and her team into the Kartoba wreck immediately.
You're getting comfortable.
Time is of the essence. Expect Galcian forces to arrive shortly.
This is the last scenario, so we're going for broke. And this is the legendary Kartoba, and one of the most iconic scenes in the Homeworld franchise is the discovery of the Kartoba. And this game definitely pays tribute to it.
We're moving out. Spool up.
So as you can see, we have quite a few resource sites scattered around here. So we should be able to engage in salvage, but I doubt we will get any artifacts, or I doubt we will care about artifacts at this point. We will have much bigger issues to deal with. There we go, there we go.
Rachel here. I have the wreck in sight. No movement detected. Conducting preliminary scan. Quantum signature verified. The site appears undisturbed. Pristine. I'm going in.
Copy that, Rachel.
We need to set up the scanner network so I can build a targeting matrix. I can direct the beam once the network is in place.
To establish the targeting matrix, deploy scanners at these locations.
Okay. So let's use our base runners to that effect.
Fine. Time's a-wasting.
Alright, here are our base runners. Let's put them all into our control group because we will need them this time around. Okay, we have plenty of resources, but let's begin resourcing operations immediately. Production cruiser can move here. Resources can accompany it.
Secure PDA for move.
Let's see, we do not have access to Rachel right now. She is currently within the wreck of the Kartoba. Let's finish off the last of our upgrades here. This is the last engagement. Let's be on our best dress. We have 3 battle cruisers, and we have 2 artillery cruisers remaining. So let's up our forces up. 2 more artillery cruisers, 2 more battle cruisers, and we've reached fleet capacity without any gunships. That's a problem, but battle cruisers are going to be vital here, and I will burn through the light assault craft quickly anyways.
Research completed.
So we have railguns. Let's move Group 1 together.
Reading you.
Control Group 8 designated.
Okay.
For mobilization.
So what I will do is I will actually deploy a scanner with a whole complement of turrets. I want to have at least some kind of protection. Okay, so let's use our salvagers to blast apart this wreck.
Set charges right there. We read you.
Oh, an artifact. I was incorrect. Can we use a base runner to recover it? Yes, we can. Well, no matter. Let's begin the harvesting operation. Cruiser production is underway. Let's set a rally point.
Rally point set. Move to location.
Alright. Here's all of our artillery cruisers.
We are projecting low kickup for the next short while. Artillery copies.
They're in Group 6, so let's keep adding them to Group 6.
Fleet Group 6 assigned.
And then all of our cruisers, as a rule,
Systems up. Acknowledged.
can be in Group 5.
Fleet Group 5 assigned.
That includes production cruisers,
Control Group
or
5
support cruisers.
designated.
Location marked. Go for Kapisi.
And we have 2 more coming out of the pipe. Okay. Let's
Reading you.
deploy a turret
Battle
emplacement.
cruiser operational.
That area with the turret.
Enemy airstrike inbound.
Enemy airstrikes?
Designated.
What?
Trackers assigned.
I guess they're gonna harass us like that. Oh, I do not have time. There's inbound signatures everywhere.
RU deposit depleted.
Battle cruiser copies.
Cruiser,
Fleet
add to
5
group.
assigned.
Reporting.
Control Group 5 designated.
Alright, let's move the cruisers forward.
Move with caution. We have hostiles on the board.
The Galcian are aware of our movements. Ground units detected.
Alright, looks like we will not have the luxury of making some kind of fancy setup. Let's deploy a scanner immediately.
Target set. Scanner out.
The Space Runner can deploy here.
Starting scanner boot sequence.
And then
Current atmospheric
this scanner
copies.
can deploy here.
Set up
There we go.
scanner over there.
Tactical break.
And this Space Runner can deploy another turret.
Adjust fire control.
Let's deploy an anti-air turret.
Deploy turret.
Enemy light attack vehicle marked on approach.
Think forward out the door.
Where are the enemy lighted? Oh, there's the enemy.
Hostile railguns. Open
Before they bring in cruisers, we will be okay.
Reporting. Move order. Strike craft destroyed.
No,
Support
Light
cruiser
Force,
under attack. Immediate
come in
fire
to
support
protect
on
the
that.
resources.
Enemy railgun eliminated. Hostile
Group
launch.
5.
Cruiser is facing resistance. Position marked. The captain.
Weapon range systems currently active.
Okay, Kapisi has plenty of heat to play with.
On approach. Mark
Increase her
bearer.
damage.
Carrier warning. Heat levels are spiking.
Okay, we are maxed out at heat at level 4 weapons and level 4 range systems. So the Kapisi is quite the threat this time around.
Combat alert. Support trap lost. We got a railgun under fire. Armored vehicle is taking fire.
Support cruiser, stay where you need to be. How are my resources doing? They're doing okay.
Receiving.
Base runners have been lost.
Strike craft down.
We lost the southern one. Come on, base runner, deploy the blasted scanner already.
Hostile detected. Visual unconfirmed.
Get a scanner out there.
Alert. Hostile
Oh,
fighter.
the scanner isn't even deployed.
Receiving
Alright,
5
let's-
by 5. Moving under fire. Turret is under fire.
Kapisi will hold this flank, cruisers will hold the north, and the light forces will hold this position.
Armor, go ahead.
There's no cruisers inbound yet, so we should be okay.
Coordinates confirmed.
Destroy the enemy armor.
Armor copies. Target to front.
Hostile range craft
Alright.
destroyed. Reporting.
Let's move one of our support cruisers. Actually, let's...
The turret post just went down. Attention.
No, I need all of the support cruisers I can get.
Receiving the data now. We need 2 more scanners to complete the matrix.
We are down to 1 base runner. Let's build a few more. Alright, base runners, base runners. Let's build gunships while we have the opportunity. Base runner is in basics. Okay, let's build 2 more base runners. Let's construct a support cruiser and a armored assault cruiser to support the light forces that are protecting our resourcing operations.
Gunship is now in circulation.
The gunship's
Gunship is now
ready.
in circulation.
Base runner is en route to deploy a scanner.
Base runner in service.
Deploy a scanner here.
Marked. Deploy scanner.
This one can deploy here, since we missed the mark.
Prep a scanner for deployment.
Okay,
Carrier here.
Base runner assembled.
can we add more power to the Kapisi?
Be advised. Carrier repair systems online.
Yes, we can. Okay, so we can... Let's improve the armor systems on the
Support cruiser
Kapisi.
now operational.
Alright, let us save the game. Let's just overwrite our save. Okay. Indeed, a power-up carrier is a force to fear. Yes. I would love to have everything at max, but that's not how it works, unfortunately. Okay, are they... Do I have missile craft here? Yes, I do.
Armored vehicle taking effective fire.
Okay. I have a support cruiser available, though.
Armored vehicle lost. On the way.
Spawn point should go here.
Proceed.
Assault cruiser ready for assignment.
Assault cruiser will join
Proceed to
Force
rally
1.
point. Secure location marked.
Command. Board's green.
This base runner can hang out here.
Cruiser ready.
These can be part of Group 1.
Fleet Group 1 assigned.
Oh, 1, Shift, Patrol 1, all of these are now Group 1. Excellent, I think that will be decent. Alright, I need to use this base runner to recover this artifact.
Scanner network in place.
Okay, we are almost done with this resource site.
Keep the network operational while I perform the scan.
Okay,
Reading you.
so Kapisi is protecting this node. I should deploy a turret while I have the opportunity before this base runner is completely up in smoke.
Defend that area with a turret.
CU deposit depleted.
Base runner online.
This base runner can go here and deploy a turret.
Location.
Where is my second base runner?
Scan complete. Preparing targeting matrix.
Please recover that artifact, base runner.
Wait.
Our scanners have picked up something. It's all around us. It's incredible. An entire city buried beneath the sand. This must be it. This must be Kartoba, the first city of Karak. It's real. Targeting matrix complete. Firing sequence primed. The orbital weapon is now at our disposal.
Just in time, Rachel. We are detecting a Gaussian carrier crossing the perimeter. Fire when ready.
The Ashinta is here to make our day miserable.
Ready for command.
Oh, I've been using the support cruiser. Alright, Rachel, please recover the artifact.
Runner. Artifact spotted. Prep to load.
Okay, so Rachel, I'm gonna hotkey to some group 7.
Group 7 assigned.
Alright, where is the Ashinta? She is up north. I'm gonna wait till she's within visual range, and then I will use the orbital weapon to destroy it. Because right now the Kapisi more than outranges these. Oh, these are all missile ships and and heavy railguns. But the Kapisi will have no trouble with this. Let's get visual on the Ashinta and use the orbital weapon.
Standing by.
These get the artifact.
Gaussian air units inbound.
Oh, that guy got it already. Good.
Support ready.
Enemy armor.
Are you picking it up, base runner?
New core alert. Hostile bomber sighted.
All right, there's the Ashinta.
Online.
Hostile bomber destroyed. On our way.
Ready.
All right, orbital strike.
Uplink positive. Firing.
Let's just fire blind. Who needs sensors? Oh! That took down the Ashinta.
Production cruiser verified.
About 60% of her health, but I should have taken down these honor guards.
Position marked. We've got hostile.
Intel. The weapon is
Move forward, artillery, move forward.
Enemy railgun fire.
Nice work, Rachel. Fire as well.
Attack. Enemy armor.
Roger that.
Support cruiser under attack. Immediate
There we
fire.
go, there we go.
Position.
Keep up the repairs, keep up the repairs.
Confirmed. Enemy siege cruiser destroyed. Hostiles alert.
Orbital is recharging.
In the AO. Respond. Alert.
Oh, Rachel is under attack.
Alert. Rachel is at 75% hull integrity.
Rachel, get to the repair ship.
Destroyed.
Okay, this base runner is somehow incapable of recovering this artifact. I am giving you an order, sir.
Been destroyed. Armored vehicle is taking fire.
Okay, Rachel's hanging in there. Let's keep harvesting.
Ready.
How are we doing here with the Ashinta?
Artillery cruiser under attack. Units respond.
Alright, the Ashinta is up in smoke,
Alert.
and we are losing our cruisers. are very experienced cruisers.
Battle cruiser is facing resistance. Position marked. Target set.
Standing by.
Right. We don't have orbital yet.
Be advised. Group 9 lost. Repeat. Group 9 lost.
Okay, resourcers are moving in.
Hostile railguns have opened up.
Rachel is repaired. Rachel, please pick up that artifact. Oh.
Northern Kithid of Karlak. Everything you have achieved, the battles you have won, they were preordained by the great Sajuk himself. To believe otherwise is vanity. His will is our destiny. But words alone will not stay your hand. That much you have made clear. You have brought this darkness. You have chosen war. May the blood sand quiet the great slumber of Sajuk.
Mothership indeed. Meet Mothership.
Class of Gaussian ship before.
Get us moving. New heading.
It appears to be some kind of
Let's pull
super
back.
carrier, a Gaussian flagship. The
We
Gaussian
need-
Sky is aboard. Defeated at all costs.
Right. Waiting
Let's
for
build.
eyes on to authenticate.
Fleet capacity capabilities are now at maximum.
Go ahead.
Pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. We have no need to engage up front. Alright, Rachel, please do me a favor and recover that artifact.
Ready.
I do not know why this base runner can't handle it.
Position marked. Moving out.
Right. This is the last fight. So I don't care how many I lose.
Copy.
The fate of the coalition depends on this.
5 by 5. Copy.
There's the Kahad Sajuk.
Kapisi copy.
Runner.
Rachel, do we have orbital fire yet? We do.
Artifact recovered.
Thank you, Rachel.
Confirmed.
Right, resourcers.
Prime charges. We read you.
And back away. After that, cruisers are pulling back.
Set new heading.
Battle cruiser operational.
Battle cruisers joining the fight.
Set new heading.
3 new battle cruisers. I think this will really help handle the Gaussian threat.
Alert. Hostile
And now with the
battle cruiser
Kapisi
inbound.
here to help us.
Ready. Set. Heavy artillery loaded.
What's the last upgrade we got? Base run and mine damage. I could not care less. I am not using mines in this fight.
Reporting. Send message.
Force 1, pull back. You will be our cavalry in case things go haywire.
We have eyes on an artifact. Stand by.
Another artifact.
Salvage your copies.
Rachel, go for artifact.
I've never seen anything like it.
Neither have I. Now let it get it within visual range so I can actually show my dear wingmates what it looks like.
Green line confirmed.
Oh, I know what I'm missing. Repair craft. I've made a terrible error. I need at least 1 repair cruiser. It's okay. We'll lose some cruisers sooner than later.
Assume guard position. New coordinates verified.
Come on. Come on, Kahad Sajuk. So what was that last artifact we got? Inviscid coolant. Oh, we have more heat capacity.
Hostile on sensors. Authentication pending.
Oh no, never mind. The artifact is in a different place. And here is the Kahad Sajuk. What a beautiful vessel.
Enemy production cruiser.
And look, the Honor Guard cruiser is just hovering underneath it. It is so tall.
Verified in the AO.
Other cruisers can pass under it.
Enemy heavy cruiser detected.
Alright, Kahad Sajuk. I think it's time for the final engagement here.
Cruiser copies.
All units,
Show 'em what this thing
engage, engage. Rachel,
This is Rachel. Go
orbital fire.
Target area set. Firing.
Firing. Yes. Oh, that did not do much at all.
Battle report. Enemy honor guard cruiser
Keep firing, keep firing. Destroy the Galcian forces. They are the priority. The Kahad Sajuk will come later. Rachel, where are you?
Intel. There might be a way to focus the weapon. Update to follow.
You figure that out now? Just get the artifact back to us. Get back to the forces.
Long-range missile strike capability.
Alright, we are losing cruisers. Let's build support cruiser. Let's just build battle cruisers. This is too much of a close-in engagement.
Alert. Battle cruiser lost. Alert. Support cruiser lost. All hands. Alert. Red alert. Command contact.
Kapisi, fire the cruise missile.
Vehicle taking effective fire. Be advised. Group 8 lost. Repeat. Group 8 lost. Alert. Light attack vehicle destroyed. Listen up. Target.
Knock these out, knock these out.
Carrier taking fire. Enemy fighter.
Knock these out.
Warning. Carrier hull passing 75%.
Coordinates dialed in.
Launch all fighter craft.
Provide fire support.
We don't need range. We need armor. That is all we need.
Offline.
Support cruiser, repair the Kapisi.
Spiking. Reroute power to avoid system damage.
Oh no, it auto spawns. Kapisi, pull away, pull away, pull away, pull forward. Where are these artillery cruisers? Focus on the Kahad Sajuk.
Minor damage to primary system.
Use EMP, use EMP. Rachel, repair the Kapisi. I don't care what it takes. Give me a recharge on that damn orbital weapon.
Alert. Battle cruiser is taking fire. Position marked.
Kapisi, pull back. Alright.
Immediate fire support on that position.
Flagship is currently damaged.
Cruiser inbound.
Launching TAC bombers.
Bomber to launch deck.
Get rid of those honor guards. Gunships, gunships.
Galcian air units inbound.
I don't care about the Galcian air units anymore.
To mark
Enemy
target.
siege cruiser.
I just care about this. Launch all fighters.
Coordinates set.
Kapisi, pull forward. Knock him out, knock him out, knock him out. Resourcing is underway. Doesn't matter, this is the last stretch.
Flagship has suffered significant damage.
More battle cruisers, support cruiser. More battle cruisers and more support cruisers. That's all I care about. Repair and gun. Gun and repair. Launch the fighters when they're ready.
Fighter coordinates dialed in.
Battle report.
Where's that 7?
This is Rachel. Go ahead.
Fire the orbital weapon. Destroy those honor guards.
Hostile interceptor down.
Come on, come on.
The readings indicate their carrier's power systems are about to go critical.
Excellent. All units fire. Kapisi, shunt power to range.
Operations update.
Everything to range.
Have been drained.
Attack.
Carrier warning. Heat level
Kapisi,
is
fire.
Reroute power to avoid system damage.
Artillery cruiser under attack. Units respond.
Kapisi, launch remaining fighter craft.
Strike fighter approach vector dialed in.
Rachel, where's the recharge? Rachel, repair, repair. Support cruisers, repair the Kapisi.
Battle cruiser operational.
Goodbye, Kahad Sajuk.
I have failed my people. My creator? The wrath of Sajuk will descend upon Karnak in an unimaginable hailstorm of fire and death.
Galcian air units inbound.
That you will one day bring this fate upon us all. Heed my words, Northman. Seek his forgiveness before it is too late. Step into his light and be absolved.
And we did it. That's right, Empty. The Galcian was not at all wrong.
The truth of our origins is only now being revealed. Descendants
Galcian
of the
air
great
units
derelicts of
inbound.
Karak. We are
They
all
didn't fix
one.
that bug.
We are all Kushan. My brother said salvation lay in the desert. It's too early to know for sure if he was right, but one thing is certain. This is not the end, but rather a new beginning for us all.
And that beginning, or rather, the end of that beginning, is Homeworld 1. Them cinematics indeed, Sir Dreener. Oh. Forget if there's credits here. Ah, yes, there are. Oh my. Okay, that last battle with the Sajuk car is, with the Kahad Sajuk, is always quite intense. Ah, Omni wheels. That would have been a very interesting design to use in the desert. Well, that's, Homeworld, Deserts of Karak. Wingmates, what did you think of that? I for one, really enjoy this story. Rachel and Jacob's relationship is... just... the way it unfolds is really well put together. I'm glad it was comfy. And the music is fantastic. Paul Risquet puts together an excellent soundtrack, and they used live orchestral elements for a lot of this. Strange comfy for battles on a desert planet. I mean, a heroic struggle against insurmountable odds, I think definitely has something comforting to it. And there's the bug again. All of these years they have not fixed that the intel officer says Gaussian air units incoming during the entire credits and end of mission. Oh, Cabal, I'm glad that you joined in at the end there. I'm glad you could see this. I didn't know if I was going to finish the campaign this session, but I am glad I did. Because then, next week, I can begin Homeworld 1. And I think I will do Homeworld 1 Classic, rather than the remaster, in all of its scuffed glory. At Gearbox, where you didn't let BBI do more work on DoK. Ooh, they... if they stopped it like that, that is really unpleasant. That sort of concerns me about Homeworld 3. One, that it's like a crowdfunded project, and two, that its release date is still very far in the future, and three, that it's still Gearbox IP. So Homeworld 3 is in progress, but so far I have seen nothing but sketches, and oh, there's what Gearbox is. The Gearbox credits. Yeah, Homeworld's trailer, Homeworld 3's trailer, looks very interesting. That they are actually going to probably use the gates, the Eye of Iran. Oh, good to hear. The details of the arrangement definitely, I think I've missed out on. I would listen to you narrate the back of a shampoo bottle. Well, once these credits finish, allow me to find you a shampoo bottle. Preferably one with the most amount of, I don't know, phthalates and, I don't know. Oh, there's so many fun long words there. Yeah, let's thank Blackbird Interactive for this wonderful game, and even the people who went from Relic all the way to Blackbird and have still kept their passion for Homeworld alive. They're a fantastic team for getting this out for the resources they had. Homeworld 3 soon, TM. Thank you, Meat and Cabal. All right, well that is the campaign. Let me exit out of this. Oh, and since I don't think I'll be coming back to this anytime soon, so here's the DLC units. So here is the Coalition. So this is the Kapisi type carrier, and here is the Sobani carrier, and that's the same kit as the tactical officer on the Kapisi. Empty, you like the Sobani? Their battle cruisers and the Kapisi are fantastic. Scuff is worth the nostalgia, except I think there is a cutoff, in my opinion, Surgeriner. I was actually thinking about playing Tiberian Sun, but then I did it match with AI, and I realized how absolutely scuffed the interface is and how it needs to be remastered with quality of life features. It doesn't have to be. Like, it's still a beautiful and, like... It's a game that has a huge amount of flavor. It's dripping with it, but it's a flavor, I think, that was a little bit rose-tinted. Here is the Gaussian, as we expect. And here are the Knefi. So the Knef is not a kith per se. It is essentially bandits and other ne'er-do-wells, or those who have been kicked out of the kiths proper to roam the desert. These are so scary that even the Galcian fear them. Like, the Galcian have stories about the Knef. They play very differently, and their artillery cruiser is unlike any other, since it's a both a direct and a ranged engagement cruiser. It has a special ability for lobbing, and it has direct fire missiles. And their base runner can produce explosive drones. Wait for the remaster for Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun. Yes, I really hope that's the next one they do, along with Red Alerts, with the Red Alert 2, and Yuri's Revenge. Those would be great. Oh, you hate the Knef. I understand that they have an interesting meta to them. Is there anything in particular that gets you about them? Alright, let's back out of this one. Oh, it wants me to accept. Yeah, I don't think I have the energy in me for a skirmish game, even though I could demonstrate the Knef. I might do that at a later point, though. Alright. There we go. Oh! Okay. The Siege Cruiser is a tank for its class. Indeed it is. It really is unique for the Knef, and it lets you do some very aggressive work with it. And the fact that it can still lob shells quite a distance, even though that's a timed ability, is still very powerful. So, let me see here. Let's see, what is... Can I even read that? What's the resolution on this image? Alright, let's have a shampoo bottle redeem here. Back of a shampoo bottle. Okay. Let me, 1 second please, allow me to pull up this image. Alright, save that. Are you serious? A WebP? Why is everything a WebP these days? Come now, please. Okay, let's do it in the chat screen. I suppose let's go back to the game screen. There's more space. Okay, let's add the correct thing. A image. Okay, browse. What the heck was that image even called? Apologies, 1 second. Oh, I see. Okay, there we go. File name. There we go. Okay. Oh. You behave now. Okay, I'm gonna copy that and move it to the game screen. All right, can everybody see the shampoo bottle? Oh, there's toes. Oh, I forgot. Yes. Let's make this chaste and appropriate. There we go. As expected of country vegetables. All right. Let's focus on the important part, which is a shampoo ingredients. There we go. Nothing yab at all. All right. I'm gonna need to pull up the zoomed in image here, though. All right, give me that WebP. If you don't mind, I will have a little bit of a sippy. The narratives they're being spun. I am caught in the spider's web, and the cocoon is tightening around me. The spiders, they want my pulpy innards. Okay, and a little bit of a stretchy. Hi, Carvebide. Did you catch the very end of the campaign, or have you only stepped in for the shampoo? Because I'm now a shampoo tuber. Okay. Let's see, what distance do I want to be at? 0. SLS free. Sodium lauryl sulfate free. Hair care system. Why you want it? Treat strands with a daily dose of this nutrient-rich blend with vitamin E to help heal the signs of damage, revealing a healthy-looking glow and lowering the risk of future breakage. Porque la necesita. Trate el pelo con una dosis diaria de esta mezcla rica en nutrientes y vitamina E para ayudar a sanar los signos de daño, dando lugar a un brillo de aspecto sano y disminuyendo el riesgo de futuros cabellos quebradizos. What you do after shampooing: apply conditioner generously to hair, working through to ends. Wait 3 to 5 minutes. Rinse hair thoroughly. Warning! Avoid contact with eyes. If contact occurs, rinse immediately. For best results, use in conjunction with other OGX products. ¿Qué debe hacer? Después de lavar en caballo con it's washed out, something lique, acondicionador de manera generosa, something está, cubrir las puntas. Spray de 3 a 5 minutos, something wague, bien el cabello. Advertencia. Evite something con los ojos. Si el producto cae en los ojos, enjuague de inmediato. Para obtener mejores resultados, utilícelo junto con otros productos de OGX. Our bottles are eco-friendly, manufactured from materials containing recycled post-consumer resin. Asterisk. Includes shampoo and conditioner. Nuestras botellas son ecológicas, fabricadas con materiales a base de resinas recicladas. Asterisco. Incluye champú y acondicionador. Ingredients: water, aqua, cetyl alcohol, benztrimonium chloride, cetyl alcohol, glycerin, tocopherol acetate, vitamin E, dimethicone, cyclopentasilohexane, dimethiconol, glycol, distearate, glycol, stearate, isopropyl alcohol, cetareth 20, DMD hydranodin, diazolidinyl urea, isopropanol, butyl carbamate, fragrance, parentheses parfum, yellow 6, parentheses, CI 15985, not tested on animals, made in USA. Questions? OGXbeauty.com, distributed by Vogue International, Clearwater, Florida, USA, zip code 33759. UPC code 02279691816. 577 milliliters. Reduce, reuse, recycle. And there is another code here that is B16161111915. All right. And that is the shampoo bottle. Apologies, I have not been able to read chat in the past minute. Oh goodness, there's a lot going on here. Yes, the guy was likely, obviously, pooping. Bonus Espanol module. My pronunciation is a little bit damaged, unfortunately. It's been a while since I've practically used my limited understanding of that particular tongue, but ancient Terran languages are quite the treat. It is nice being able to understand some different words. Well, I hope that shampoo bottle was enjoyable. Allow me to delete this. Oh, my cropping didn't take effect. Oh no. And I was showing you toes this whole time. I have failed. I have failed. Thank you for the pachis and the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Okay, there. See, I'm a pure and proper spacer. Now let's get rid of that image and never talk about it again. Yes, I wish to remove image OBS. Do not question me. Do not question me. Feet will never leave you. Feet where? Well, I mean, I have my own set of toes. I unfortunately will never escape them. There they are. Agom. Woke up to go to the toilet. Oh no! Oh shit! Where is this image coming from? You know what? Where is this blasted image? There we go. No, Bunzel. I'm not feeling okay. I'm feeling better than okay. Well, now that I've made a fool out of myself, the pickle juice has me all loopy. You snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, in more ways than one maybe, but there's a lot of defeat going around right now. No, Alaric, keep this narrative away from me. I have never drawn toes, and never will I. No. Okay, that's a lie. For anatomical accuracy, I will draw many things to be accurate. Sometimes you need to be scientific more than you fear something. Overcoming yourself. Toes are the mind killer. Toes are the little death that will bring utter annihilation. I forgot the rest, but I will allow them to pass over me and through me, and then only I will remain. The litany of oh my god, my Dune references are failing right now. I am so... I'm getting medical alerts. The reference pictures, I swear. I swear on my mother's grave. The litany against fear, yes. Oh no. I will never live this down. Oh my god. Okay, one second. I have a bone to pick here. I need a reference sheet really quick. Meat, you said I'm toe-minded. You're the one with bare toes on your avatar. How could you? If there's any traitor among us, it is you, Meat. Ugh. I will not be portrayed as a greater toe fiend. Oh, not detailed. Well, I'm wearing boots. I am wearing motocross boots. Raku, I am only looking there for ammunition to use in defense of self. This can be legally classified as self-defense. See? Any jury in the known human colonies would equip me. You're allowed to do these kinds of things if your reputation is at stake. Deflect, redirect. Yes, Carbide, thank you, thank you. Ha! I'm a consummate professional. I do deliveries fast. I do deliveries safe. I mean, the moment I pulled up that shampoo bottle, some artist somewhere felt a demon enter their hand and possess them to do what you're talking about, Niwa. I'm not gonna say it out loud because that only increases the power of the curse. You know, retweets, recharge, likes, cast, that kind of a thing. Imagine an advanced spaceman shaming a poor cave woman for her lack of footwear. I'm sorry, Meat. If you put it that way, I do apologize. It was inappropriate for me to not understand that particular cultural and technological difference. And if my delivery runs take me by your homeworld, whatever it may be, I will make sure I reserve some of my cargo space for a pair of basic footwear. I hope that will help you out. Spacer, pass over a spare set of space boots. Perhaps space boots are environmental suit boots are probably the thing I would pass along. They have rather durable. Raku. I now understand what many feel when they feel the tingle of the timeout button. Ugh. But I will not do that. No. I will take these comments in stride. I am passionate insofar as self-defense can be called passionate. That is where I stand. Okay, Meat, I'll make sure I don't put them in the Excel tank, although I wouldn't want a set of spare boots floating around bonking me in the head in case there's a sudden shift of direction. It's already bad enough being in a tank, let alone with floating garbage. Imagine not going to primitive planets to see girls' bare feet. I mean, I rarely set foot on planets. When I do, it's for very personal, non-feet related reasons. I have hobbies that I like to do in the sun of a terraformed world. John Madden, football. I don't know the full lines, so I would have to look up the transcript there. Chain guns go brrrr, as they did with our gunships. Oh, I am feeling quite rambunctious right now. This is a dangerous situation. You just saying for non-feet related reasons killed me for some reason. For non-feet related reasons only. Hello, my name is John Madden, and welcome to John Madden Football. Oh. Yeah, I'm saying too many things. Oh goodness. That shampoo bottle can really get a man going. Alright, well, let's unwind a little bit, let's cool down, let's forget about any appendages that we may or may not have seen. The stream is sponsored by Vlasic, trademark, Classic Dill Pickles. Vlasic Pickles. When you're really in a pickle, you sure won't be fickle. Ho ho ho! I really can't do commercials on the fly like that. Huffing shampoo bottle labeling. Yeah, it's a weakness of mine. But the scent of a shampoo bottle, at least from my understanding, is quite intoxicating. Floral or perhaps citrusy or fruity. I, however, am somewhat of a boring individual, and I don't want to admit this. I prefer unscented shampoo and soaps. But I don't know what you wingmates might prefer in terms of your sense for body lotion and the like. Hello, Congo! You're surprised your body doesn't atrophy when you spend all your time in a flotation tank. Is there a stimulant for that? My body does atrophy to a significant degree, unfortunately. I do have cycles that occur at a regular interval, depending on the feedback that biosensors embedded in my suit determine. And essentially, my muscles are stimulated into action. One thing that is rather surprising is that the fluid is very thick, so any sort of movement I make in the tank is rather straining. It's almost like swimming. So when I do undergo these stimulations, I definitely do get a decent enough workout so that during grav, I am able to walk at least one standard gravity. Do you do stretching exercises while in your tank? I do not really stretch in the tank all that much, since there is barely enough room to maneuver my arms around. What you're hearing now is audio feed from a simulation of what I believe is an accurate reproduction of a 21st century ancient Terran apartment, complete with cheap microphone, ancient LCD monitors, a tower computer, and of course, noise outside and thin insulation. It's a bit of a personal hobby of mine, finding schematics for these various environments, and then modeling them, and then placing them in this environment so that I could have the most accurate, at least to my knowledge, I guess, emulation of what a streamer would be doing in the 21st century Terra. It is a very useful, I suppose, filter. Before simulations were this advanced and this popular, anyone who was trapped in a torch ship for long hauls definitely had a tendency to lose their minds a bit. You had to essentially be drugged up half the time, or not just for the acceleration, but also for the sheer boredom. All you could do was, talk to your crewmates if you had any. And I fly this ship alone. Now, I will say that this vessel, when it is not accelerating, it does have a balanced set of centrifuges for providing at least basic gravity for when I'm not in the tank. Although rarely am I not in the tank when I'm on board. Above and beyond for that little bit of immersion. It's important to have, I think, the correct environment when you're emulating the activity. It's sort of like a HEMA, historical martial arts. You want to be wearing the right armor and carrying weapons of the correct weight. Do you have a soundtrack of traffic and train noises as well? Or car traffic? Yes, I do. Occasionally, the simulation is essentially adds predicted hourly traffic. There was, I think, this thing called rush hour, which I think is still represented amongst the less developed industrial societies of the human colony sphere. But I have not really had much experience with this so-called traffic, or this traffic jam. On the more industrialized worlds, due to the sheer amount of automation, either production goes on 24/7, so shifts are distributed, but even then most management is done just for the robotic machinery that creates things. Have you played the game Soma? I believe you'd enjoy it. I have seen some playthroughs of Soma, I think by some VTubers, but this was a while ago. From what I saw, it does seem appealing, although horror is not necessarily my favorite cup of tea. I do enjoy a bit of a scare from time to time, but it's... I will admit I get scared, but it's not sort of that I'm concerned with being scared. It's just a lot of horror games I've played with, I run out of the fear after a certain point. But I do like it when games keep throwing in different challenges. So when I find the right horror game, I absolutely do enjoy it. So I think I might try Soma out on my own person and see if it's worth going for. The thrust of Soma isn't monsters, but the setting. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I guess seeing it on a stream gives kind of a different impression, but I do love setting, and I did see parts of it with the writing about I suppose the monsters, for lack of a better term. Attenborough, don't you get cut off by cocky spacers? Well, I will say that so on a civilized world, orbital traffic is very heavily monitored. Generally speaking, even before you approach a planet, you will have a orbit that is specific to you and that you have reserved for a certain amount of time. There are many orbits that a planet can have, but not all of them are stable due to the geographic features of a planet and the different densities involved in the terrain. So certain orbits will unfortunately drift. And some orbits will, of course, run the risk of intersecting ones. For example, if you have a polar orbit, which, if we use Terra as an example, would be an orbit going from the North Pole to the South Pole, it will inherently at some point, depending on the size, although astronomically small, it does get a little terrifying if the orbit is very busy and if something goes awry. Then, or if you have orbital debris, if something explodes in orbit, then you can end up having borderline Kessler syndrome, where debris begets more debris. However, the armoring on many ships these days, simply due to the sheer preponderance of micrometeorites and the amount of space trash, most every ship has at least a bit of a Whipple shield. And a Whipple shield is typically thin plates of some kind of material separated by a distance. And the fact that there is distance means that a hypervelocity projectile, which is to say traveling typically faster than, Mach 3 or so, but usually faster in the case of these projectiles in space, at that kind of velocity, when even something as small as like a small bolt or a nut hits a plate of metal, both the plate and the bolt essentially begin to vaporize. And you're essentially using this as an ablative defense, so that small micrometeorite particles are vaporized by their own energy, and this plate can be replaced for a fairly low sum without having to pay for fixing a puncture within a pressure hull. Although frankly most ships have very small pressure hulls and have minimalist designs, relying mostly on simulation to keep crew active and healthy, as opposed to having crew walk around these days. So when I say boarding party, prepare to defend against raiders, it is almost an anachronism to a certain extent. At least on smaller and especially civilian ships where profit is the primary motive. If you can get it working, System Shock 2 seems to be right up your alley. From what I understand, System Shock 2 recently had not a re-release, but a very huge patch that has made it more capable of working on modern systems, and I think that patch is available both on GOG and on Steam. So System Shock 2 has always appealed to me, and as always, with many games, I actually have listened to all of the music and watched some playthroughs, but never actually personally sat down to play some System Shock. So, it's in the backlog. Unfortunately. But yeah, oh boy, I went on a bit of a tangent there. I apologize, but I hope it was enlightening to some of the issues. But anyways, back to the orbit thing. I generally don't get cut off. That is very rare and only happens in ports of call where they have no traffic control and where someone might actually get a little cocky. But at that point, you hear the collision alert and you back off. You know that you can't please everyone. You just have to be careful every time you're in a more lawless environment, which I try to avoid. Yes. Yes, the endless backlog is indeed endless. Endless space, endless backlog, etc. The side effect of myriad interests. Indeed, Cabal. One of the big issues I have is I thoroughly enjoy the outdoors. And as someone who enjoys both the digital world, including games, programming, digital CAD design, and also just art in general, it is really hard to balance that with some of my interests, which go to... I enjoy ice skating, I enjoy motorcycling a lot. I have a reproduction of a vintage 20th century Terran dual sport motorbike, and that is one of the most fun things to ride because it's so devoid of electronics. It is a completely different experience. I also enjoy the outdoors. I enjoy a hike on a terraformed mountain. You have that issue with a lot of games. I've watched and invested in the lore of tons of games, but I've played very few myself. Yes, I also end up reading the wiki for a lot of things. Like, I have read so much of the Final Fantasy wikis, but I have played so few of them. Like, I love the setting of Invilis, but I personally have not actually picked up Final Fantasy XII. In one of my group meetings with fellow Terraboos who really like vintage Terran, Terran software and hardware, I saw over the shoulder playing some Final Fantasy XII. Too many interesting things in the world and not enough time. Yes, that is absolutely the case. I wish there was more time, but alas, we do what we can with the lifespan we're given if we are of a genetic disposition to have that. I am technically a neo-human, which means I am genetically not prone to cellular or to telomere destruction. I essentially am like a Hydra, and along with 90% of humanity at this point. But there is degradation that can still happen despite these genetic alterations. And slowly, one of the things that takes many of these veterans is just madness. After you've lived for so long, and your neural connections in your brain, especially with cybernetic alteration, stop resembling that of your fellow human being. Especially if you have extensions to your thinking capability grafted on. You simply stop being a human being. It's a fate worse than death for many, but it comes to you. Yes, yeah, doing it for the movies. A new human. I understand what a new type is, I think, but the main difference between an isohuman and a neo-human is that our lifespans are essentially indefinite. I do have some other genetic modifications that I was able to afford on my limited budget, so that I can be more interfaced with my vessel. But the thing I spent the most on, of course, was the ship and the cybernetics. The genetic augmentations are there just to improve quality of life during life in the tank. I pursued speed-solving puzzle cubes as an interest to learn, and as an active form of meditation. Oh, that is interesting, Cabal. Despite having the qualifications to technically operate a starship and many other interests, the puzzle cube I have only been able to handle a few times. I think it's not so much that I can't do it, given the practice and the meta for it, but unfortunately, something about it was not as rewarding as I wanted to be in the moment, and I didn't feel like it was a challenge that I needed to overcome to better myself. I think I felt a contentment in, just being able to do it slowly. And I think that's where my passion sank for that sort of thing. I do enjoy puzzles to some extent, but for some reason I think design and games more interest me than puzzles, or puzzles with more game-like aspects to them. Madness or Ascension? Sargeriner, that is a very hot form of debate. I think it's a matter of perspective. To me, I have met some of these old Methuselahs, as we call them, and it really, you can split the difference. Some of them seem mad, and I hope I have nothing to do with them. Some of them seem to have thought patterns that I simply can't relate to. And it's a little disappointing, but at least it's heartening to know that when you become a Methuselah, you at least have someone who thinks sort of like you. There are communities that are exclusively populated by the absolutely venerable, those 1,000 years old and above. The fastest time on a typical 3x3 cube was 24 seconds. Oh, wow! That is an order of magnitude or more faster than I have done. Yeah, some of these classic interests are definitely beyond my ability to dedicate myself to them. I, for one, enjoy, for example, the game of Go. Even though the rules are simple, it's incredibly complicated in its depth. And while I'm no master at it, I still enjoy the puzzle-like aspect. But I think the thing that interests me about Go the most is the fact that you are fighting an opponent. And that sort of adds, I think that is the key. It's sort of this combativeness, or competition, but a limited competition that I certainly enjoy. Do any wingmates enjoy certain sorts of puzzles? I know there's a whole world of these kinds of interests, and I have not delved into far enough of them. You definitely got me beat. I'm terrible at Go. Oh, I'm terrible too. I mentioned this at some point, at some time, I think, but I'm in a situation where some of the people I know who I could play with, I'm better than them because I'm passionate enough to read the rules, but I also suffer from the fact that I am not good enough to play with the experts. And so I'm caught in this impasse of, not jobbing too hard, but at the same time not being able to really stand toe to toe unless I dedicate more time than I have. And because there are many other interests, that is very difficult to do. And I don't know if any wingmates here have that same issue, that they have to really trim and prune the tree of their life to only have the strongest branches that they can feed. I like those locking puzzles where you have to separate pieces. Oh yes, those are fairly clever. Alaric, you've been in the middle before. It's not fun. Yeah, fun is not a term I would use for that. You and Go are where I am in speed solving, actually. I am nowhere near competitive level. Yeah, the bar is very high for a lot of these interests. There are people who don't sometimes go for not the jack of all trades approach, and instead go for a mastery of one thing. And sometimes you just don't have enough life left to compete with them, and not enough soul left. And you have to understand your limitations, and I think that's both a good and bad thing. Mortality, I think, has a lot going for it. I think it makes every day more special, at least if you think about it that way. And the time you spend with people who you care about, or for who you're getting to know. Mostly with the competitive ladders. Yes, it's very difficult to get into that competition. I think there's programmed robots with color sensors that are designed to solve puzzle blocks. They usually take several minutes, though. Yeah, if they're doing some kind of brute force solution, or if they're learning on the spot, that may take them a while. But I'm sure that if it's a pre-prepared robot that is aware of the programmatic solution, if there is one, or an optimal best path approach to solving any given problem, I think that may allow a robot to solve it very quickly. These days, the machines built in CSN solve a 3x3 in less than a second. Yes, that's essentially what I am referencing. With the right parameters, you can solve almost anything. Well, not anything, but you can at least, if you know the problem, you can begin to build a brute force or a educated approach to solving it. Oh. Yeah, sorry, I apologize if that got a little too into the weeds, I suppose, for any wingmates, but I will never hold anyone from leaving. You're more than welcome to check in and check out at any time. We're all just here along for the ride, the great big ride of life. And if you're here with me for a sliver in time, I will appreciate it for what it is. No more, no less. But that was nice to calm down with. Including the active scanning phase. That might depend on the software involved, but visual recognition is definitely fairly advanced, at least in early 21st century Terra. Depends on how expensive your hardware is, and what your problem is, and if it requires rotating to figure out the parameters of the puzzle. If you're lacking data, well then you can't solve it, or you can only do so much with it. Alright. Oh, 360-degree view. Vids of it are on YouTube. Yeah, these Rubik Cube machines are quite interesting. Especially the programming parts of it. Okay. Well, I am feeling definitely calmed down from the excitement of completing Deserts of Karak. So let's begin to wrap up. Let's go to the end screen and cut off the primary feed. The Stellar Void. Cold is not the right word for it because it is vacuum, but it is beautiful and radiation blasted. Well, thank you everyone for watching the terminus of the Homeworld Deserts of Karak campaign, and for being there with me as I fought off the Kahad Sajuk and found the true legacy of the Kiths of Karak. And of course for joining me for a shampoo bottle reading. Let's see if there's anyone to raid at this late and dark hour. Okay, well, I only have chickens on my radar, and as much as I like knowing that chickens are online, for it is a constant in the universe that the chickens continue to exist. I don't think that's not something I like to do, raiding the chickens. If anyone in the audience has suggestions for a raid right now, that would be most appreciated. I'm sure there's actually folks I would like to raid, but I don't like necessarily following during the stream due to the notifications. It feels a bit like interrupting, so I tend to avoid doing that. And that's why I don't have notifications active. Well, if there is no raid target, I think I will move on to the end screen. Minya. Let's see. I have my memory is failing me right now, so let me. Minya September. Oh, she's got a an amount of viewers that I think is appropriate. She is doing. Oh, she's a Japanese and English speaker. Let's take a gander here. Minya September. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's if all viewers who would like to, you know, try out a new VTuber, you're more than welcome to join the raid. If not, feel free to, you know, go out and do the rest of your life, because that is very much important, and we should all keep track of that. So let me transition to the end screen proper. Thanks again to Kevin MacLeod for the background music that is in the chat, or in the chat room, and we've already picked out a raid. And while I won't have a follow sound, I will thank the people who join our flotilla at the very end. So AIOU_UUU. Thank you very much for joining the flotilla. Empty Soul 01. It's good to have you with the fleet. Cabal the Raven. Thank you for following. Holopilot 22. Your presence is appreciated in our little convoy. Ninja Guy Danny. Thank you for following. Randon Nearing. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Mao. Mao, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Oh, Congo. Also, thank you for following. Lapin, I'm sure, is in bed now, but I want to thank her for the raid that happened earlier. Okay. That appears to be it for the time being. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm about to fire off this raid. There we go. Of course. I do what I can. And thank you, everyone, for attending. Your presence is much appreciated. Oh, and my Twitter is linked to this account. I'm a little bit stressed, so I can't fire off the links right now. But I am having a mech design, I suppose, thing for VTubers and for viewers. So if you scroll down my Twitter, you should be able to find the viewer submission post if you would like to have your design thrown into the ring. I will pick a... Oh, raid message. Thank you very much. I need to have my reminder also do that for me. Okay, here we go. Raid message. Oh. So make sure to mind your manners. Here's the raid message. Thank you for the reminder, Sardrina. Much appreciated. I'll put that in my credits screen after I'm done with this. I'm not very aware of what Minya does, but I will check her out now along with you guys. Thanks again. Fly safe, everyone. Keep your propellant tanks topped off. Make sure your calculations are done correctly. And till next time. Raiders, away!